Hello and welcome back to the ORCA pod. We are deep into our coverage of all existing Australian LRJ seasons. I'm quite blurry. I apologize for that. I don't know what that is. We are deep into our coverage and we are turning now to the middle point. We have done 5 seasons. We will do this one season and there'll be 5 seasons to go, the top 5. So this one sits squarely in the middle of the 11. Number 6, voted by you. The 6th best season, Brisbane Survivor. Really excited to be talking about it. It's not a season that we covered in the ORCA pod during its original airing. It had its own on-brand podcast, and I often feel it's a bit to double up when you have 2 things like that. So really excited to be talking about it. I haven't talked about it before. Of course, if you're here, you're listening, you should know voting is open. Go there and vote for who is the MVP, who's the ORCA. I think there's actually a lot of potential options this season. Sometimes they're runaways, like last season with the ORCA. We all knew Calvin would win it from the minute we started the coverage. But there may be possibility for different people. For the ORCA, for the MVP, it's a 3-horse race for the Annabelle Award. Like, anyone's got a chance for that. Alex should probably win it. But, you know, that's my opinion. Others may have differing opinions. So very excited to get into the coverage. Next week, deep dive with myself and the winner of this season, Nick. Really interested to get his takes. I think it's going to be really interesting having him on a deep dive because I think he's not that much of a Survivor fan. He did it as a favor for his brother, so he's probably never listened to a deep dive and won't know what to expect with all my grilling questions about how he went from 10th to 1st in this exciting game. Of course, then following is the tea party with some of the hottest and most exciting guests of the season, the most interesting contestants. Got some feelers out, got some names out. I'm not going to confirm who's coming, but the lineup is looking good. Annabelle will be doing that as always. Then the awards, and then I'll have a great chat with Sam, who'll be fantastic to catch up about putting the labour of love that he did into this season. Before we get on with the show, as I announced at the end of last episode, the next season, the 5th best, as voted with you, top 5, we're getting in there, is... And it's a bit bullshit because it's an amazing season, but hey, democracy doesn't work. But what can you do? The 5th best season is Backyard Survivor. Well, yards apart. It's a fantastic season. If you haven't watched it, watch it, and then you can watch along with us when we talk about it next month. Then we will probably have a break from the countdown because it may be the time that One World comes out, and we'll be doing our coverage of that season from then on. And as long as there is not a LRG going, we will jump back into the countdown whenever we have time. So without further ado, I want to bring in my guests for this coverage. That's it. For the first time on the ORCA Rank Down, we have 2 people recapping the season. Can we push our prior 2-hour or 2.5, whatever Danny did on Melbourne? 3 hours, she's saying. Jesus. I don't think we want to go that long, but it's a shorter season, so hopefully it will work in that way. So without further ado, bringing in the person I mentioned, the person who was joining me last season for our Melbourne Warrandyte coverage, Danny. Welcome, Danny.
Hello. It's so good to be back and talking all things Brisbane Survivor and Sam Green.
And she missed our Warrandyte coverage. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. I would understand if it was. Sorry, no offense, Warrandyte lovers. You know, it just drags a bit sometimes in the Strat chat, which I've made very clear in 4, like so I covered it. Joining us back, she was there for all the other countdowns. Welcome back, Jules. Welcome.
Look, it wasn't intentional, but, you know, if I didn't have to watch that again, I was okay. You're not watching it again.
You're not a big fan of the season. We know it, Jules. It's not your
favorite. No.
Look, CK and I developed a new love of Warrandyte on the rewatch. Enjoyed it more the second time around.
I'm happy for you. I enjoyed your podcast. I was listening while I was at work.
You listened to all 3 hours?
No, I was at work, so I was listening to snippets here and there.
So we get into Brisbane Survivor, and the thing that always struck me about Brisbane Survivor when it came out, popped out on my feeds, Sam was there talking about how it's coming. He was doing these little videos about what he's planning on doing. I'm like, this guy's very charming. I like this guy's style. This guy's thrown his hat into the ring. Everyone's got, because Sydney was just coming out at the similar time, so everyone's got a LRG now. And I was a bit like, I'll see how this goes. It'll be interesting, you know. And then, look, I would admit I hadn't watched the whole season. I'd watched about the first 3 or 4 eps when it aired originally, and then there was just a lot of LRGs happening at that time. I think Sydney was airing. I think Playing with Fire was finishing. It was too much to watch. So this is the first time I've gone back and watched it in whole. But for me, what really struck me originally was the production quality for a first timer was out of this world.
Yeah, 100%. Incredible.
Yeah, the editing was really good. Like, they didn't drag it out. I liked it. Every episode was like 20, 30 minutes. You know, we saw in Sydney that every episode was like an hour long, and it's just, for a one-day game, you don't need that much time. Like, if the content's not there, don't drag it out if you don't need to.
Correct.
Aston, who hosts the On Brand podcast that I referenced before, said I was too old for their podcast. Too old for a late podcast. 9 p.m. is not late for me. I'm very much a night owl, but I don't like watching other people's LRG podcasts because I like to think mine's the best. And if I don't watch anyone else's, I can live in that delirium without any challenge. So that's how I roll.
See, like, you could just be like a little bit humble and say that you didn't want their podcast to influence your own, but no, that's all right. You'll go with the bragging rights there.
When have you ever known CK and Humble to do the same sentence?
Really.
Like, let's be fair.
I said I don't watch it, and therefore I have no challenge to the concept that mine's the best. I'm not saying mine's the best, but I'm the only one I watch.
This is why you didn't ever want to guess, because we're just going to gang up on you.
This is not good. Now how Ethan feels.
And I've got admin rights. I can take you out too if I need to.
I can't take anyone out. I'm just sitting here looking pretty.
Anyway, we digress.
So the production is high. It's high in the sense of the camera work. It's high in the editing, the narrative, the story, Sam as a host. He has a fantastic charm about him. He speaks so eloquently. He's very, very likable. This is why I picked him to win Sydney Survivor, unspoiled, which was correct, because I just saw what a charming and lovely person he was. And obviously he loves the game, so he's got the strategy down. So seeing it as a host made me realize he'd win Sydney. But here as a host, it's just so perfectly done. I think the challenges are really great for a first season.
Challenges are fantastic. So good. Like, just such a taste of real life Survivor, like OG challenges in there on a budget. It's great. I really enjoyed it.
And that's an incredible compliment coming from you, Danny, who played in Sydney Survivor, which has had the best challenges of any LRG that we are going to cover. Who can forget the 2-year-old toddler puzzle? Or when Maddie Pitcher got screwed in red light, green light. Who would forget these things?
We'll never forget. Never forget.
That's to come in the future. Yeah, I also saw that too. It was all like old school Survivor challenges and then adapted for what they were doing, which I thought was great. Is this also the best looking cast that we will ever and probably ever likely to see in LRG? It is seriously hot from 1 to 10.
Melbourne 4, like, hello.
People haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but there's 2 people right here. That's enough.
You 2 are there, but there's other people. I don't want to knock anyone on the cast. I'm not saying anyone's not hot, but this is a hot cast.
It is a very good looking cast. Very good looking cast.
All the guys, all the ladies, very attractive. No one agrees? You're very just.
I'd rather not sit here and objectify people if that's okay with you.
They're all attractive. Yes,
they look nice. You look lovely.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel good?
Young, hot, and nice from Mel.
Yeah, well, that's the kicker, right? And that's probably the one place this season.
They're all too nice.
Too nice. Oh my god!
Nice. You don't have a villain.
No villain. Alex is the closest you get.
Yeah, and he got yeeted nice.
I think Lily has a few moments. She gets a little sassy.
Sassy, yeah. Well, we gotta give it like a party.
But I mean, also been like in this group of people, we're like nitpicking it, like what we can get.
We've got 10 heroes, and she's the closest we've got to a villain.
I think Andy had some real villain potential, but it got snuffed. She was purpled pre-merge, and then
she can go
snuffed
tribal, so
I literally didn't know her name until we got to the merge. She'd be full purple.
When we got to merge, I didn't know who, and like they in that first merge challenge when they got the names up, I'm like, who's Andy? Who's Kyle? Like,
well, we hadn't seen them, but yeah, I think Andy was very under-edited in the pre-merge, so she has beef with Sam. I think that would be the reason. I thought she was very purple, and the confessionals post-merge were very good from her. I was enjoying her quite a lot, so I was surprised we didn't get a bit more from her. But then he said Sam had very limited confessionals, which sort of kept the season tight in terms of those time frames we were enjoying.
I do wish we had a little more like depth to the characters. Like I And I guess at this
Yeah.
Sam too. Like I got to the end, I didn't really feel like I knew anybody.
Well, getting to know the people, we start with a sort of a traditional intro package.
And they kept it short and sharp, which I loved.
Very much so.
Yeah, it wasn't the
Backyard
Survivor Exile. Here is 20 minutes of details about every single contestant. Hey, was it Tyler plans to be quiet and be big later? She should have did that anyway. Haley has a cold. Don't know if people are sick. Liam doesn't care about winning, but he wants to have fun. Alex is a fisherman, but not really. But they're just giving him that title to make him more interesting. Andy is a student, and her strat is to have no strat. This is all a bit nothing, but it's good. And then Sam gets there and explains they all have connections. They don't explain to us on the season what the connections are. I do recall when it first came out, he put out a chart, and there was a publication about who knew who and what their relationships were. It'd probably be, in retrospect, worthwhile if that was in the episode to some extent, because as a watcher now, I don't have that information. I could have found it. I forgot to look at it. I don't think it really played a lot into the game, though. But considering the season
is the end game, which is when they explained it when it got to it, but prior to that, not really. Anytime it was sort of influencing the strategy, or at least what people were attempting to do, like we saw, this person used to go at this person, I'm going to try and use that connection. We got it in there when it mattered.
Yeah. And I think it was a good concept. Like, I don't love it as a concept, but obviously Sam was trying to put something together here, and without going into all of the effort of, putting this together and then trying to also do a casting call for a season no one's ever played before. And, you'd think that it would be difficult to maybe get people to sign up to something like that. Most people wouldn't expect to get a former winner of Australian Survivor just to show up at your random LRG in the Blue Mountains. But, that's a logical
fly off their own back. It was an approach. She applied.
A logical thought process that it'd be difficult. And if he makes a product first, I'm sure he was, inundated with applications for season 2. It was a good way of just doing it easy. He knows these people can rely upon them. But it means they do have these connections. That happens a lot in LRGs anyway, as we know, as we've talked about at length in the last season's coverage. But I thought it was a good way of just making that the concept of the season, putting it out there and managing that aspect.
Yeah, I like that they really leaned into it. Like, I think we saw a lot with Backyard 1 in particular. Everyone there knew each other, but they sort of tried to hide that a little bit. They were like, no, screw it. You guys all know each other. We're going to put it out there. And I actually don't mind it when people know each other, because when everyone knows each other, it kind of eliminates, like, the preseason relationships kind of cancel each other out because everyone knows someone. With Warrandyte, you had 2 people that clearly had a very strong connection, and that helped them greatly. But when everyone knows everyone else, it kind of reduces that, and you tend to get more authentic gameplay.
Yeah, great.
The information from Mel, host of the podcast I Don't Watch, says that Tyler had the most connections and they end up costing us. Over here, it's her insight from covering the season. And I think that probably did cost Tyler. But equally, Tyler was playing an incredibly strong game. I think a big narrative of this game was there was clearly people that adored Survivor, and there were clearly people that have fucking no interest or
that was Sam's brother.
In Survivor at all, right? And so there was a real dichotomy there of you had to be very careful about how hard you played, because the people that weren't really into it weren't really gelling with that.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah.
I think the person who did that by far the best was Liam. Liam was obviously a big fan. The way he talked about it, he was clearly a big fan. That making merge was really special to him, things like that. But he would always sell his strategy as, oh, well, they don't deserve to be there because they don't try that hard in the challenge, or they don't deserve to be there because of X, Y, Z, which is the sort of thing that people like Kyle, who wasn't really into the strategy, like to hear as a reason to vote someone out. Kyle wasn't interested in, oh, let's backstab them because, they'll beat us at the end or whatever. Like, that wasn't of interest to him. And Liam sort of really saw the cast, I felt, and played the cast as a Survivor fan the best way he possibly could.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into the tribes. I actually remember these names, Soames and Rogers.
I was orange and blue the whole time.
Look, Sam loves my take. Don't sweet talk me, Sam. I've got nice things to say. Don't worry. But it's my take, is right. I wonder if they said that on the other pod. Hey, Mel, Aston. All right. First reward is snacks and camping gear. There's there's a nice slow-mo reveal, which I thought was cool.
That was cool.
With the dreamy music over the top. I loved it.
They did the slow-mo a few times in the challenges when it was get the winning point, you see the bag slow motion go down.
It was good, well filmed, well edited, and all original music on this season. Someone's writing all this music. All those pieces of music are original, I believe. What most people do when they make these is you grab a Survivor music and stick it on, which makes it feel like Survivor. Yeah, change it. Makes it like Survivor, right? Like the challenge music is the Survivor challenge music. It makes you feel like this had its own feel because it had its own music, but I think it's pretty special that they got their own music written. Obviously, Sam has a talented friend. Mel felt that it was very on brand for Brizzy. I also noted that Sam had a lapel mic, which I thought was pretty fancy for a first season, putting a lot of work in. The first challenge is basically a rugby game, as far as I saw it. And then they're playing for
the slip and slide.
Yeah. And then they wrestle. Sean versus Liam, slow-mo. It's like a slow-mo trip and then a replay of the hip and shoulder, which is a really strong improve. And I'm the quality is just good. The whole thing. I'm just enjoying this challenge. The speed of the challenge is great. The camera angles are slow-mo. I said this is the best edited challenge I've seen in LRG.
Yeah, my notes are all about the editing. It was just short, sharp, to the point. Who's next up? Go.
Yeah.
But it's one thing that annoys me, and Sam's been cracking down on this shit, but there's an element of people he sort of brought in to play this game and how much can he rule them with an iron fist. No sunglasses. Sean, sunglasses off.
This first time out, I'm sure he cut it. I'm sure he pinned it for season 2.
It just isn't the right look.
No, it's not. I agree.
But look, if that's what we're criticizing, that's nitpicky.
I criticized it in.
No, I know, but I'm saying of all the issues you could potentially come across in a season 1 LRG, this is pretty low down on the list. I think I'm going to put it out there. Is this the best season 1 of any LRG?
According to the voters.
Well, yeah.
It's better edited than Sydney. I think Sydney just ends up being more interesting.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't voted number 1 out of the first one. What about Sydney?
Yeah.
It's definitely better edited. I think.
No, because I've already covered Sydney, so I forgot about that. We haven't covered it here. That's why.
The production value on this and the edit is so much better here.
Oh, yeah.
But, the Sydney game is slightly more interesting.
Yeah. And I think this would be higher, much higher, if it was a 16-person game with a cast that was just an organically
100%
put together cast.
I can't wait to see his season 2.
Yeah, I think season 2 is going to be out of this world.
Season 2.
Out of this world. It's going to take
I'm actively actively avoiding all spoilers for it because I'm I want to pot it because I'm just I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, we can make a rival podcast for that one, right, Danny? To the Aston Mel. That's actually quite funny. They could call themselves the real.
Sam. I can make someone work.
They could call themselves the real ORCA podcast because they've got James Wolfe on their thing. Mel says season 2 is so lit.
Well, I reckon though that
I think they were there for season 2.
Well,
then they can't podcast it.
They
have to do it.
Yeah.
So we want to be spoiler free. I've told everyone that was involved in Melbourne 5, I don't want any spoilers. Everyone that was involved in Brisbane 2, no spoilers. If I wasn't there, I don't want to know about it.
There you go. We're not plotting. It's the ORCAs. It's a turn for season 2. ORCAs.
No, they can't. We're covering. Great. So there's a mystery reward, and it's a decision to bring a member of the other tribe to make a decision. And then Kyle, who knows nothing about Survivor, we learn later, just picks Liam immediately with no consultation with the rest of his crew.
I was just
And then he's going. How did that get determined?
Yeah.
Was it because Kyle picked Liam? That Kyle gets to go? Is this missing from the edit? I was confused.
I was weird.
Aston spoilers are for losers. Good.
Yeah, we're not spoilers. And so they go, and then you can get a bundle of fruit or a smaller bunch of fruit or an idle clue. Oh my god, Sam is trying so desperately here to get them to pick the idle clue because he's even given them fruit with the idle clue. Like it's just a smaller and then they both are like, nah, we'll take the fruit. And Kyle's like, yeah. And Sam's like, I can look at Sam's face like, fuck off. Like
so all three of us would have gone for that idle clue.
100%.
It wouldn't have even been
especially if you got fruit with it.
Yeah.
Like
I would have been like, oh, we got a choice between like fruit and chocolate or something, and we went for fruit because it's gonna last longer.
I couldn't believe it. I could see it in your face at the time.
I was half expecting to be like,
oh, Sam was dying. The player.
Yeah, I was expecting to be like, we don't even have the big bundle of fruit for you because we didn't expect this to be an option.
Yeah, it's his first ever season. It's his first twist, and they're like, nah.
We don't want an idle clue.
Big of a target. I don't want a target on my back.
The problem is he had Kyle who's like, I'm not going to play dodgy. That's not who I am, whatever. And you've got Liam who's trying really hard to be a not super fan style player. So Liam's like, I don't think we should do it because it's, like that's not loyal and blah, blah, blah. And Kyle's like, yeah, sounds good. It's works for me.
But I guarantee you any other season, even coming back with the big bundle of fruit, there would be other people being like, nah, they got something else.
Everybody copped it so sweet. Everyone was like,
oh, good choice. Yeah, cool, sweet.
Yeah. There was no suspicion.
On Kyle picking Liam, you mean?
No, on that they just brought back fruit. Like no one seemed to think that there was a potential dodge.
Well, Kyle tells the truth, which actually I think is really
I still would have been sus.
Yeah,
you got a clue.
Even if you do tell the truth, there's one or two people who are like, that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
There's only 4 of them there. There were 4 other people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
And Kyle just says, look, there was a clue. We didn't take it. So obviously there's some sort of idol around here somewhere. So, everyone gets a go. Fair go. I don't have the clue, but, everyone knows. So go look or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Kyle could pull it off. That's who Kyle is. I couldn't pull this off, but Kyle can pull it off.
Oh, God, no, you could not.
If you came back and said you had a chance for an idol clue, I'd be like, show it to me. Give me the clue. Empty your pockets now.
Mel says no one will ever believe anything. Yeah, but I believe Kyle. On this season, I would believe Kyle. That's all I'm saying. Kyle. Though I would be... Look, actually, being fair, I just met Kyle, and the only thing I know about him is he just, unilaterally picked Liam with no consultation to go to the reward. I would be fucking sus on this guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, what the fuck? Who's this dude?
I'd be like, his vibe isn't aligning with his actions, and now I'm confused.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I just thought of something. Did he get to pick because he won that point, or was it the tribe got to decide?
No, the tribe is supposed to choose, and he just.
He didn't win that point though, because the last it was Georgia. And
I didn't write down who won.
He apologizes when he comes back to the tribe for sort of like, oh, sorry for just without actually talking to any of you.
Yeah, he apologizes, and says he needed to pick Liam, but then he doesn't explain why.
Yeah. He's my buddy. He's my mate.
Yeah, is that his real life friend? Do they have a real life connection?
Yeah, they mentioned it at the end, I think.
Sam says it was some editing magic. Mate, it's not magic when there's a gap that we can't work out. That's the opposite of magic. We shouldn't have been able to identify the gap. Okay, the idol, it's really good. It looks like it's probably something he's just got from like a shop, but I think it looks really
I love
good.
it. I think it's great.
Good, yeah.
And there's I like this quick message from Sam where he's explaining the challenge better.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was funny. It was cute.
Lily finds the idol clue at the blue camp.
Can I skip this?
You did skip it because it was before the challenge.
Yes, but she
found it and everyone saw her find it, so she read it in front of everyone. And it's like, you can be secretive and get the idol, and she's like, damn it.
It's in at the challenge. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a good one.
I love that.
I'm sorry for skipping that. I like the bit where anyway, so Sam didn't explain the challenge very well, and we've been at these things, and it's very hard to explain these challenges on camera in a succinct way that you really need 2 explanations, and I think we've seen this before. The way they've done it on Melbourne is Liz generally explains the challenge, and then you sort of left a bit like, what is going on, because they do it succinctly and it's just enough to sort of get the idea, because that's all you need when you're watching it on TV. If you don't understand it, they'll be playing it in the moment, so you'll figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Then she would step out, and then someone else would step in, normally Keegan, and then explain it in excruciating detail. So I don't know if Sam had got that sort of idea of how to do the challenges, but I thought it was really cute with the fast forward, and he does an overlay.
I love it. I loved it.
It's a good,
A little bit of
good
self-deprecating there of like, oh yeah, I talked
so
for like
good.
6 minutes.
I had no idea what I was saying, but here's some footage of me just like pointing my fingers around.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a nice moment. The challenge is good. The balance is the water filling up. It works really well. There's good drone stuff. I said the commentary is good. So here I can criticize. The commentary is good, but it's a little bit what I call junk time football, where there's not enough passion. You know what I mean? Like it's telling me what's going on, but it's like, oh yeah, so he's marked the ball. Yep, he's marked. He's lining up for a goal. He's kicked the goal. You know, because the game's over, so no one's got any excitement. Whereas this is exciting, and Sam, get more excited. You know, come on, this is Survivor. That's how you do it on Survivor. I think you've got to
dig deep.
Yeah, that's my. It's a great first effort. Commentating these challenges is not easy at all. Amazing job. Next time, we've already done 2. If you didn't do it on 2, 3, try and get that passion going. like your team's really about to win, but they're about to lose. That sort of tenseness is what you need to bring into the commentary. Anyway, Rogers. Okay, and then I said this is like it looked like a photo finish to me. Like
it was very close.
I felt like they had to go to the tape for that. Like, you know, like how was the call seemed very hard to make. Like they've got a tape. I would have gone to the tape. I don't know if
I had someone down that end filming from memory, because I think I spoke to him about this when it first came out. I was like, what happened? There's some missing footage, and there wasn't someone down that end, so it took him a bit to figure out who won.
Were they certain who won? Could have changed the whole game.
Haley could have been our winner.
Who? Hannah.
Who? Haley?
Haley. I think you mean Haley.
Yeah, I said Haley.
Haley.
Yeah.
Then you said Hannah. I'm like, wait, have I written her name wrong? Like,
all right, so we're back to the Rogers are happy. So we've got Soames. Alex notes that Lily had the clue. Alex does this. Alex does this bit really well. He comes at the thing. It's like, we all knew about the clue. Maybe the other tribe got it. Like, you know, maybe they had the same clue.
He plays this so well.
Yeah, and you know, Liam's like, I don't think anyone has it. Like, Haley's a bit more sus, but like, and then Alex actually found it and did it really stealthily. And he's like, others forgot, but I didn't forget. And he was just faking them out so well about what happened.
I loved it. Yeah, so good.
I don't know what sort of fan level of Survivor Alex is, but he's really bringing that like game player energy.
He wants to be the villain.
They're focused on. I sort of realize here they've got like they're looking a lot that they have a 2-3 boys girls, while the others have a 3-2, which is a bit of a like. I don't know how Sam thought this was going to go. Like, unfortunately, we do see a lot of women go early here, and I think part of it is it's a bit of Australian Survivor like where the challenges are very physical. For an LRG, they're very physical. So when you're on a 3-2 tribe, you might go, oh, well, you know what? Let's stick to the girls. But you probably can't vote off Liam or Alex in this situation.
No.
Because
it's a very fit cast in general. Like,
yeah,
a lot of
there's no slouch.
You do have to look over at Kyle and Sian and go, you know, we're going to need guys to go against them.
Yeah.
And it makes it a challenging situation where I think the girls are in a lot of trouble here. And all 3 girls, like none of them's a slouch. They're all fit and competent in their own right. But it's like we've got to sort of do one of them.
Here you go.
Okay, so
Alex,
apparently
not a fan, and stepped in 2 days. Wow.
And then watch the highlight footage.
Yeah, wow. Does well. I like it.
Yeah. Do you know that? Side note. Do you know that Ferris has basically watched almost no Survivor?
You're
really?
joking.
They're talking about him potentially being on this like Australians versus Americans thing. He's like, I wouldn't know who any of them are, like the Americans.
That's good. I like that.
How's
He
that?
was no Survivor, and then he just like dominates. Like,
how can he be that good? It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Well, I don't think Kirby had watched much either. So
No,
Yeah,
Kirby
she hadn't either. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirby was poached, so she was called up for it. She didn't apply.
Oh, she was a recruit, you're saying? She probably was.
Yeah. No, she was a recruit. She didn't apply.
I think Ferris probably applied because I can't see him where he would get recruited from.
Oh, he's got a massive TikTok following.
Before the game? I saw a funny TikTok of Jaden not being let in the club because he had neck tattoos the other day.
And then Benji tried to get in the same club. He put tats all over his neck, like fake ones, and walked in like 2 nights later and got let in. So
racist. He was there with Nathan as well. Obviously, they're singing out. They're still bros. Nathan was just sort of standing around. Anyway,
live reality game. Not
sorry. They're talking about Hayley being the vote. How many times in that little package there were they like, she's lovely, but and I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it. She's a lovely person. Like, come on, talk shit about her. This is why we're here.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy here.
Lily thinks Hayley's smarter than Georgia. That's a reason to get rid of Hayley in a backhanded compliment. And then like Hayley rocks up and just throws Georgia under the bus. Like just if it's not happening, I think it's pretty clear that George is going. They vote for reference for first time viewers, where have you been? But also we don't really do the tribal councils that much because even real Survivor tribal councils aren't that exciting. So unless you guys have got a really fantastic note about the tribal council.
My note says that there was some very intense drumming as the votes were read.
I've got music. Yeah. So we got the same notes. Hayley and Georgia vote for each other. I think the voting urn's really cool. And Hayley goes for one over Georgia. And then Sam just takes her torch. It's not even like a
Thank you.
And then I think the jury villa with the credits is really good, and I
really like that. I think it's fantastic.
The video cut in, old school. It's just great production all around, and it's individual. It's unique to the season. It gives its own identity, which is not something that a lot of the LRGs seek to do. A lot of the LRGs look to copy Survivor. That's fine. That's what you're doing. But this one, like in so many ways, went to do its own thing, which I think is really probably deserves more kudos than it's getting. And again, I think season 2 is going to be out of this world as a result.
I agree.
Okay, so we're back to the Soames tribe, who are the ones. They just been to tribal council. Alex says they all need to stick together with this. I'm like, yeah, with this secret idol in his pocket. Like, we all need to stick together until none of you are my idol. Rogers, I say, boring kumbaya stuff. Like, and Alex is thinking of telling them Sean has an idol.
Yes.
Telling the other tribe, hey, there was an idol at the challenge and Sean was there and we reckon he got it.
Yeah, we didn't get it. He must have got it.
Yeah. This is like hardcore villain playing. I love it. He's playing so hard.
I love it.
Do you think you could play this hard this early on a 10-person season? Like, you're already halfway in. You might as well just go for it, right?
Yeah.
I will refuse to comment since no one has seen my LRG performance yet.
Okay. But you weren't on a 10-person season. I'm saying if you were on a 10-person season. I was
not on a 10-person season.
Yeah. I think you have done. Go for it. You're going to make 3 and you make the merge. And everyone's on the jury, so it's all, you're winning no matter what happened. And then they get to the sort of the map, and I said black. Said one of them says
they're very openly like, oh yeah, we voted out Hayley because she was weak in challenges.
No, they don't say that. Oh, do they?
They pretty much said that. I don't have it in my notes. Just remember it.
Oh, that they all felt. Oh no! Someone says nobody felt safe. Like no one felt safe, right? And then I'm like, lol, they all felt safe. And then Tyler calls them out and like, she scoffs a bit about it. And Sam says, oh, do you have a reaction to that, Tyler? And she's like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Tyler's like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, duh. You better her out. Like, it's a bit bitchy. It's great. She actually feels bad about it later. She's like, man, that was a bit bitchy.
I loved it.
All right, it's the old blindfold challenge, and then this begins. Nick. I don't know if Nick's the older brother to Lily. Is that the situation? Do you know, Danny?
I get older brother vibes from
me too.
Like, pushing her over and shit.
Yeah, this is just harassing her.
The whole, even between Lily and Sam, Nick and like the whole siblingness of this kills me. I love it.
I think Sam's got to be the oldest. He's the most mature, right?
I would. If I had to guess, I would say Sam, Nick, Lily.
Yeah, I'd agree. Because I think also Nick has that like harassing Lily like vibe, which you'd have for being like closer in age.
Yeah.
And he's just harassing her to stop her from collecting the crates. And there's a bit of backseat puzzle driving. What do you guys feel about backseat puzzle driving? Does it annoy you? You right with it?
I think it depends on the puzzle maker.
Someone who would volunteer to be a puzzle maker, don't talk to me. Just like, shh, I'm doing something. If you want to do it, you put your hand up and you do it. But if I put my hand up, you shut up.
But I don't want to do it. I don't want the risk of being like voted out to stuff it up. But I still want to do the puzzle because I'm good at them.
I'm good at them too. So don't talk to me while I'm doing them.
There you go. Sam, Nick, and Lily. There you go. Perfect.
I got it. You see, that's what you come for. The correct assumptions that it's become hot takes. Rogers win their second community. That's a huge hit in this game. I felt like 10
people to again lose twice in a row. That's rough.
And it's super close again, like super close.
The blue team, what are they called again? So
the
blue team, they go back first to start the puzzle. They had the better strategy of collecting 2 crates at a time, whereas the other guys were just going 1 at a time.
Yeah.
So that must have hurt.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tyler just comes along and is like, done.
What was the puzzle?
It was the Survivor logo, but like they couldn't work out the border.
Oh yeah.
Because it had like yellow shoots coming out of it.
Tyler feels bad about what she said, but then she justifies it by saying, "You need to say how it is on Survivor." That's right, Tyler. That's why you're a star of the season. Tyler thinks Liam would feel bad about voting for Haley because she's tight with them both, but like Liam won't feel bad at all. And they get to sit in the tribal, which unfortunately makes this tribal even more boring because they're already people that aren't going to give you much content, and they're certainly not going to give you anything like the other tribes right there.
No. Ugh.
It would have been good if it was the other way around, because then Alex could have been like at the tribal. Alex could have been at the tribal. Sean's got the idol, like calling him out at the tribal.
They weren't allowed to talk though.
Okay, maybe he could just like gesture.
Yeah,
not allowed to talk. What are they going to do if you just say something when you walk in, right? What's Sam going to do? Kick you off the show? You only got 10 people.
That's such a CK thing to say.
And like JP Sam was giving him all the questions.
JP wanted to kick me off Melbourne Survivor. You know what? They all told him to shut
We've
up.
all heard the story. We know.
And Sam's like trying everything to get them to like talk and give there, and they're just fucking like, no. Nope,
you guys have skipped something important before Tribal Council. Blue tribe, everyone's idol hunting, and Lily gets it.
Ah, yes.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. My notes are very, very short, so I don't.
No, I've got Lily thinks Liam has the challenge idol. She calls him a wild card. Lily finds the camp idol. Whatever.
Oh, I think I haven't jumped to the tribal yet. Sorry. Yeah. Oh. Lily says she's so sorry for not
about tribal. You did jump to tribal council. Okay.
I was talking about how they get to come to the tribal.
And then you segued into talking about tribal.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Lily, it's funny what she says. She's sorry for not like helping with the puzzle. I'm like, it wasn't your job. You're not the fucking puzzle. Stop taking ownership of shit.
And as she said at the end of the season, puzzles are shit.
And when you have Lily on your team, you're not wasting her on a puzzle.
Yeah.
You're putting that girl front and center, tackling, pushing through, like she's doing the dirty work. You're not putting that girl on a puzzle.
He's Danny doing all the running and the throwing and everything. And then I'm the other one who's doing the puzzle.
Yeah.
But I would win. And then CK's just yelling at production.
Yeah. Liam feels good that he drowned out Sean's voice. And I'm like, that was a completely irrelevant factor, mate. But he's just grasping whatever straws he can to like.
I've got a note here that the callers just weren't loud at all.
Well, Liam drowned out Sean's. That's what he said.
I was like, for callers, they were all very blasé about their job.
Yeah, look, just go over there. A little bit more for, whatever.
Yeah, it was all very blasé. There was no like urgency or like
Oh,
pizzazz.
Nick's just like knocking.
So I just got to the comments. So Liz is suggesting a Survivor where there's the Greens, the Justs, which is Keegan, Toby, and Emily, and the Bulldogs. Who are the Bulldogs? You know who it is?
No.
No.
I don't know who that is. And I've covered a lot of these shows. Fill me in. Someone's saying that Liz should do it instead with
Zach and Matt.
from
Who?
Backyard.
Oh, from
The Backyard. 3 and 4. Oh, Zach and his dad. Oh, yeah. Okay. You can get 3 Rileys because you can get Liz and Rosemary and Liam on there. Though Liam's, not technically a Riley. But,
They're honorary.
Honorary.
You guys are distracting me. There's 3 people. It's just out of control. Meanwhile, there's 3 people at the Soames tribe, and they're all working on their merge plans. And I'm like, poor Georgia is so fucked. Like, Lily, Liam, and Alex are just like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Yeah, like they've already moved on. They've already voted out Georgia in their head. She has nowhere to go.
Lily attempts to go through George's bag to see if she has the idol before Lily finds the idol. So that was insane footage.
I said the board that was hiding it was kind of fucking obvious, so shame on everybody else.
But then that's where they're not being Survivor fans. Like, they're not really thinking about it. The rest of us would be like, there's a board over there.
And look, if this was Backyard season 3, that wooden board, like leaning against up or something, would have been amongst 1,000 wooden boards and tires and other junk in an industrial yard. But this was a very well presented house, and there was not random pieces of wood just lying around the garden. It was the one place where something was slightly out of place. Obviously, some very fastidious owns this house. Sam was coming to film Survivor. They go, I'm going to make my house look absolutely magnificent because it's going to be filmed. And so this errant piece of wood was incredibly obvious, in my. Okay, so then I said it's very awkward, and Haley comes in just by herself as the jury. I felt it's a bit awkward. No.
Yeah. I don't like that we had jury coming in to pre-merge tribal councils.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even think of it. Look, I would say that if you're going to do a full season jury, then you need to let them attend if there's not a battle back.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think like the point of like when people get to the jury, they haven't seen anything. If you weren't on tribe with them, they haven't seen it. That's something you have to navigate when you get to final tribal. Not that anyone cares about what happens pre-merge anyway.
I'm just saying that if you're going to be voting, then you can't just start appearing at the. I guess what you mean. Like you can appear at the merge. It might have been relevant if the other tribe went to tribal council. I guess it was relevant in the swap.
They pretty much the swap comes pretty quick.
Let's just think about a scenario here where. So are you saying they should have been on the jury, but they don't get to come until?
They don't get to come to merge.
It's like 2 tribals.
Fair point.
Haley, the context.
Yeah, for another hour, missed 2 tribals.
I think the context is fine. Might be. Your view is valid too. Everyone's view is valid. Here we go. James Wolfe, the original ORCA, coming up with the facts. Jury starting pre-merge with no swap is an unprecedented happen in the US. He's not wrong.
That is true.
He's not wrong.
That is true.
No one agrees with you.
Season, so
no one agrees with you on this one.
All right, fine. I'll just sit here in my party of one.
Yeah, party of one. These poor people, poor Haley and Georgia, should have been shipped off to a room to have no involvement in the game. All right, so we get to episode 3. Lily tells Liam and Alex she's got the idol. I think that's a fantastic play.
She just is like a drive-by idol, like information jump, like past She's like, I have an idol, and keeps running. I'm like, that's a very interesting choice.
Liam's like, what an idiot! Who would do that? Oh no, Alex. Alex said that.
I think the drive. I don't really have a comment on the drive-by. Whatever way you want to reveal your idol was fine, but I think this was the time if you got an idol to reveal it because one of two things are going to happen. There won't be a swap. You get another tribal council, and you want these guys to know you've got implied immunity, so then they're just battling for which one you're going to vote with to vote out the other one, or it's a swap. In which case, you're probably going to have to use this idol in a situation with the ally to maximize outcomes. So it's the perfect time to reveal. I feel the idol. I don't think there's any downside to it.
I agree.
Reward.
Alex thinks it's bold, and he would do it, but he thinks she's potentially in trouble, and he could have waited. She could have waited until the one she wanted to work with, maybe. But like, she's definitely in the middle.
It cause chaos because if you have to come back, like you said, have the boys have to battle it out to win your approval.
You won't even have to use that idol if they went to.
You would not. They would not risk voting for you.
You just have implied immunity. And just pick who you're going with. Let's vote for each other, and just make them both. As long as they both feel they're with you, they won't vote for you. The old knock the poles off.
The problem is the wood was like not very sturdy, so people were just like moving and it was falling.
Yeah, Alex is just.
It was more of a balance challenge than anything else, which meant I would have been out first round.
Alex just falls off limply.
Yeah, he's so upset by it. He's just like, oh.
Aston's hot take is that Liam would have gone if they go back to travel. He was obviously doing the coverage. That would be my call from that point in the season as well. It seemed that Alex and Lily were closer. I don't know what the real life thing was.
No, I would say that even if, because I think they don't vote for Lily, Alex plays his idol, Liam goes.
I don't know if he would. I think that he and
Lily would probably tell Lily that he's got the idol.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And they would both vote out Liam.
Later on, Lily and Liam were quite close because they end up being the final two of their sort of group in the merge. But I think Alex and Lily were closer at this point. It's hard to remember that because they get much closer later on.
Yeah.
Sometimes circumstance makes people closer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think that's what happened here. They're knocking off the poles. Like Lily knows Nick's going to come for her. Like he's going to pick to go against. This is the whole theme of the day. How can I take?
I love it. I love it. It's so good.
There's some waving their arms about. I think there's quite a few interesting strats here because they can't really touch. They're told to not touch. And there's a nice comeback where it goes from 3-0 to 3-all. And then Tyler starts searching for an idol. I think she's on the bench. Oh, at the tribal. I don't know. She's searching for an idol.
I think she has to sit out because they've got one more. So Tyler sat out.
And then they're going to be able to come and take a food item or another item from the camp, bit of a steel reward item, and Alex just starts smashing the Kit Kats. Like,
what does he say? What does he say? He goes, obviously they can't take the food if it's in you.
Yeah, but then they take the Kit Kats and he's pissed off. He's pissed off they took the Kit Kats.
and then his face when they explain like what they can take, because if they're taking the chocolates, they're taking all the chocolates, and they just keep doing that slow-mo of his face like
Look,
just like consistently that face. Oh, it was fantastic.
Can I just point out they're not out there for 39 days or 46 days. It's one day.
Relax.
Like, just calm down. All right.
I'm actually of the view that these things are usually utterly pointless for that very reason. Like, this is a 12-hour game. Who gives a shit if they take your Kit Kats? But when your contestant is going to behave the way Alex is about the Kit Kats, it makes it good content.
But that's what you want. I think that's why they do it, is to attempt to get that sort of reaction out of players, like to give something that's going to kick a fire in somebody who has a very strong passion for Kit Kats.
I think they ate more on this one-day game than most of the other 3-day games we've watched.
Yeah. But it was good content, and thank you for Alex for bringing it. Because I think that if he didn't behave that, you might not have even had it in the episode because it would just be meaningless. Over at Rogers, they all decided to go looking for an idol, and Sian has found a clue somewhere, but we're not given any information on where this clue came from.
No.
That's a mystery. More editing magic, Sam, if you want to fill us in. Maybe you tell me. I will get that in our deep dives. And the clue, he knows where it is. It's by the water, by the tap. He gets it, but he thinks Nick's seen him. Nick has seen him. Nick's not going to tell him he's seen him.
I also don't know how Sean doesn't clock that Nick sees him, because Nick's face when he sees Sean is like, oh, buddy, I see what you're doing. Like,
Sean says, oh no, I stubbed my toes. I stubbed my toes.
Sean knows. He says, I think Nick saw me.
I know, but he's not like, he doesn't, but he's not confident that Nick sees him. He's like, I think he did. If I had seen that face on Nick, I'd be like, oh, fuck, Gig's up here.
I'd be like, look what I found, guys. I was just about to tell everyone.
In my view, yes, if you think someone's seen you, like, and we've seen this fail, like in Melbourne playing with fire, where, someone thought they saw him. They all thought everyone saw him find the idol, and no one actually saw it.
He didn't account for the fact that John is blind.
Yes. So, the fact is that, Dale could have got away with it, but Dale sort of just worded out to everyone. He should have just told John, hey, I've got an idol. This is what Sean should have done. Gone to Nick and said, hey, I've got an idol. And Nick even says that. Like, he's not coming and telling me about the idol.
We can use it. Yeah. It's our idol.
Yeah. And pocket it, buddy. Come here. Guess what I found? Like the little secret squirrel conversation.
The Sam said the info here. Didn't have a camera on him at the time. And he found it under the picnic rug.
Should have made him redo it.
You can't really redo an idol clue find. But you should have forced a confessional where he talked about finding the clue, Sam. That's how you would solve the issue. Just, that's how you solve it, right?
Yeah.
So I was sitting at the picnic rug, and it seems a bit fake. It seems like Ben finding idols on a boat, but like it is what it is. Challenge. Alex is gonna make a. Hang on. Then we get. Alex reveals that Liam dated Tyler, but they're not friends.
Yeah, this is the first time we get the crossover about.
I was a bit like, if I was listening to this, it's like, so Liam and Tyler used to date, and they're not friends, but you think they'll work together? They didn't sound like people that are going to work together at all. Like, they sound like people that will probably work against each other, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was like, that's a weird thing that's going to happen.
Like, if they were dated but they're friends, okay, yeah, watch out for that. But dated.
Michelle and Wendell work together. Stranger Things.
Yeah, that took like 3 days for them to even start talking about that. Like 2 minutes in this game.
And they didn't date; they kicked it.
Is that the same thing, or is that just a euphemism for sleeping?
I don't know. That's what Wendell called
it. Okay. I think that's just Wendell doesn't commit. I think is what actually happens. Yeah. I think as far as Michelle was concerned, it was a relationship, which perhaps is why there was a bit of bitterness there. There's a swap. This is a bit shit. Like with a 3-5 situation, like you're gonna get some bad numbers, but we do get obviously
what can you do to fix that though?
Nothing. I don't know what they could have done. In the end of the day, it's a 10-person season.
When one tribe loses more than the other, it's going to happen. But my stance is a good player can get themselves out of a swap screw.
Exactly, and everyone but Alex does.
Exactly.
And Alex could have got himself out of it if he hadn't been like trying to overplay and then underplay when he should have actually like played his other. But we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm like, these are actually some pretty good outcomes for the tribe. For a viewer, this is pretty good in terms of the makeup. There's a 2-2 and a 3-1. Like, it could have been, well, I guess it could have been 3-1, which would have, a 3-1 would have been a bit boring, and then a 4. But anyway, they've got to untie a bunch of crates here, like, and they're really tied together. And my question always is, who tied these up? Like, and in particular, did one tribe tie up the other tribe's crates? Because otherwise, you have no way of ensuring.
That would be good.
You have to do that because you have no way of ensuring they're tied up in exactly the same way.
If you'd like have 2 people at the same time going, yep, we'll go here and then we'll go here, and
I don't think that's possible to actually get right.
That would have been better to all right, you've got this amount of time to tie up the other team's things.
Yeah. They used to do that in Survivor with the sticks.
Yeah, I remember.
With the sticks in the thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
You remember that? You remember what I'm talking about, Jules?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and they've got such an homage to old Survivor challenges here. It's a good way they could have done it.
Saves work on production.
And I said, New Rogers are struggling. Their ropes are a complete mess, and they get annihilated.
They're doing like one at a time and then running each crate back, whereas Blue's like, let's just undo all of them at the same time and run every crate back together.
Back, yeah.
Liam thinks it's going to be. So we're at their tribe, and Liam's worried it's going to be 2-2. This is a fantastic.
This is a great scene.
It's probably the best episode of the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overplaying happening here.
I've got the most notes on this episode.
Yeah. Alex, like Tyler snuffs Alex out here, and he stuffs it up. He's like, "Oh, you're using
that's how we found the idol." It's like, sorry, what?
What?
We found the idol.
And is he saying, yeah? And he's like, yeah, I've got the idol. He's like, well, yeah, I've got it. And then Liam left, and he shows her the note, but not the idol. And now she's super sus.
I would be like, no, he doesn't have an idol. No way. Just show me the paperwork.
Yeah, why not show the idol?
Tyler starts the day by being like, I don't want to overplay. I don't want to get everyone's face. I don't want them to know how much strategy I have. And in this moment, she's like, show me that paper. What does that idol look like? Tell me all the things. She's like, and I'm like, oh.
This is like me saying I didn't want to tell anyone I was a super fan, and then doing the exact. Is this like me telling?
She's just like, it just all comes out here. She just.
Yeah. Then Alex is like, and that's, I'll vote Liam. So I've showed you the idol, and I'm keen to vote Liam. And off he goes to his confessional. Liam comes back, and Tyler goes, do you know about the idol? And he's like, yeah. And he mentions Lily, and Tyler says, no, Alex. And he's like, yeah.
Just say yes.
It wasn't secret over there. Or something it's a real like.
It was zero convincing. Also, like it was like I don't know why Tyler was just like, oh yeah. So yeah, he told me the truth. I was like, I didn't tell you anything. You just kind of said yes to whatever you said happened.
And she doesn't pick up that he mentions Lily.
No.
It's like
there's a point later where she's like, and Lily definitely doesn't have an idol.
Yeah. Like.
So then Tyler's new plan is to link him with Nick and move the votes to Alex because she thinks it's a ploy to have them vote Liam and for Alex to play the idol on Liam. And I just
playing some 4D chess, and Alex is barely playing checkers.
Yeah. I think that's a bit unfair. I think Alex is playing some form of chess. He's just only started playing chess yesterday, and so he's ready for some moves, but he's not ready for like this sort of move. I think he's playing checkers. I think Kyle was playing checkers. Sorry, Kyle. You're watching. But I think he's playing smart. So Tyler thinks he's like playing at another level because he's doing weird shifty shit. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to play hard, but she's thinking about all the machinations of like probably the 45 seasons she's watched and how that informs that decision making. He's thinking about the highlight reel he watched of Boston Rob or Tony or.
He's like, yeah, if I get them to vote Liam, I survive here. And she's like, yeah, if he's going to get us to vote for Liam, then he's going to idol him. So we should put the votes on him. Take his up. What?
But remember, Alex has his fake idol and was trying to keep his options open. That's why he didn't show her. Yes, he mentioned he was going to give her the fake idol on the next. But just show her the fake idol then with the paperwork. Show her something with the paperwork. That would be the more convincing.
And actually make her that deal. Say, hey, if you save me here, I will give you this.
Here it is, the paperwork and the idol. He didn't do that. Yeah, exactly, yes, Sam. He didn't do that.
But then Nick goes to the boys and talks about voting out Tyler. I thought we were going to get like a 1-1-1-1.
So did I. I thought I was like, oh my goodness.
I would have loved that.
And then thankfully, I'm sure Sam was very appreciative of this. Tyler has a great confessional about all the vote permutations and all of Alex's lies and really sums up everything that's just happened in quite a mess. Yeah. Fantastically. It's amazing narration from her that really succinctly explains what just happened.
And you kind of need the numbers going off in her head, like if she goes on a tangent, like all the like you just needed little light bulbs.
You need Jeff Probst to like do the whiteboard moment of like he is here.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, and a really complex tribal as well. So the content was there in the edit for you to follow, which was really good. But just to sum it up there right before the actual tribal was spectacular. There's a great comment from the OG Orca here. Alex wanting to make moves of mass destruction. Literally, no, Tyler's about to go nuclear on his game, and a bunch of bomb explosion emojis. They look more like Christmas ornaments. I don't know. But you know, adaptation is how we play the emoji game. We get to the tribal, and Tyler reveals that Alex has an idol at the tribal.
Yes.
I don't know what do you think she's trying to get Alex to think they're voting? What do you think she's trying to do there?
I think she's just trying to talk.
I think she's trying to be a boss bitch.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to like show off her knowledge.
Isn't that potentially pushing Alex to play his idol, which is the one thing she doesn't on
but
himself?
She thinks he's voting to Nick.
She is voting
Not
for Nick.
She thinks he's voting for Liam.
Yeah,
So
which he does. He does vote for Liam.
Yeah.
Tyler votes for Alex. Liam votes for Nick. And Nick walks up to the voting confessional and says he's in trouble, he thinks. You know, he's got a last minute punt. And apparently, you know, at the last minute, Tyler was like, told him, you know, vote for Alex. I guess worst case scenario, if Alex does play his idol, it then becomes 1-1 Liam, Nick. So Tyler's fine no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And revoting in that scenario is going to be Alex and Tyler. And she can say to him there, you just voted for Liam. Like, what are you going to do? Not vote out Liam now? Like, you've already turned on him. So it actually, Alex playing his idol on himself is probably the ideal outcome if he's going to play it somewhere. Not that it mattered if she voted for it on Liam. I guess if he plays the idol, either way, it works out. On himself or
to
Liam.
go home with it is the worst outcome.
He wears it later. It looks good on him. I mean, he's in the jury.
Gotta wear it sometime.
Yeah, he's in the jury. He's wearing it. It's great. But look, a great tribal. I'm sure Sam was so excited. He got such a dynamic swap tribal, particularly after a couple of sort of dead robbers, which is common for first or second boots. To get such an exciting one, you know, he wouldn't have got that content most likely with the other tribe losing. No. It might. Well, Lily has an idol, so I guess you might.
It would have been Lily idling one of them out,
which is sort of exciting, but not really. It wasn't as good as this.
I mean, Lily might have idled, and then maybe Sean would have idled, or maybe we would have had a no vote tribal.
Could have been good. Anyway, it was a great thing. We roll into the merge, and Nick tells his group of Tyler and Liam, but really Tyler, that Sean's got the idol, maybe the challenge one. You know, like
I think he's got two idols.
He's just got all the idols. So he's got the sunglasses, man. You can't see his eyes. You can't trust him. You found that idol. He didn't tell me about it. You probably got the challenge. Because then Liam's like, yeah, you got the challenge one too. And they're like, there was a challenge idol? Like, because Alex had built up this narrative that Liam, that Sean had the challenge idol, and Liam's fully bought into this, right?
Yeah.
Liam had no knowledge that Alex had an idol, as far as I could tell.
No.
He thought Tyler was talking about Lily's idol.
Yeah.
And
he did. Yeah.
And Liam's such a genuine person that, you know, if he says or comes across as a genuine person, at least in this game, that, you know, if he says, yeah, Sean, we reckon Sean found the idol because it was one in the challenge and no one in our tribe got it. Nick, who's already trying to bury Sean by telling them he saw him found another idol, is going to jump on that. Go, yeah, he probably found two. That's right. This guy's dangerous. It's good stuff. Nick says you can't trust Lily, just sandbagging Lily at any fucking chance.
I've got a note here that leaf blowing shit is painful. Blowing on the leaves, noise in my head.
It's a very nicely sort of presented area, and people cannot have leaves on their pristine lawns. So just part of the daily. No, leaf blowing is the absolute way of just being an absolute dick in the way you clean your garden, because you're just blowing all the leaves out into the street.
Not actual leaf blower. She was
they were blowing with their mouth.
So I remember there was a bit later on where there's like you can hear a leaf blower in the background.
No, they're sitting
No,
around
there's
like
no one singing their
doing
mouth.
the whistling thing.
Yeah, you couldn't even play it that well. Have you guys ever done that?
No.
No.
Making a gun leaf, camping, or what have you? The Nick said, do either of you have siblings?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you played Survivor with your sibling, would you
I
feel
would
this
vote
way?
my sister out in a heartbeat, and I have told her this.
Oh, my brother and I would get into it. We would get into it. Absolutely. We fucking ribbing each other. Absolutely.
You get
my
where Nick's
sister
coming
is
from?
like a very, very likable person. She's just a big, bubbly. She's like, imagine me, but like extroverted and super likable. And like everyone loves her. I'd be like, nah, she needs to go.
Aren't you extroverted?
I am an extroverted introvert. I have a social battery that drains very quickly.
You're so likable.
Thank you.
My
sister is
I don't have a sibling, so I'm not really qualified to make an opinion about this. As though I do, of course, I do have an opinion, but I'm not really qualified for it regardless.
Your sibling is the person that you both love and hate in equal amounts. That is the best way to sum it up.
You get where Nick's coming from here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be telling everyone, do not trust that fucker.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd be like, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's fine.
Yeah, and the same way, like if he stepped up in a challenge, I'd be like, let's fucking go. Just like he's so much bigger than me now. Like he's younger, but I'd still fucking have a go.
Is your sister a twin, Jules? I thought I saw a photo.
No, we look very similar.
All right. Okay, we get it. That's the situation. Obviously, if blood versus water, though, a bit different, a bit more aligned. No, yes.
Yes, because everyone has their loved one, but I would want to have that Sierra moment of voting out my sister.
Nick wants it the whole game. That's all he wants. And he'll tell everyone.
I feel towards the end where he's like, no, I'm going to keep her for a little bit.
Yeah, he keeps it because it's the right move, but he's annoyed about it.
Yeah.
Himself.
I love when he says in front of her, I really wanted to blindside her. And she's like, are you talking about me? Yes.
He's like,
yeah. I'm going to vote you.
Well, he's like, well, I want to vote her out, but it just doesn't make the most sense at this point, so I can't do it. Like, it's very so they've merged. I don't mind the necklace, but I don't like it as much as I like the.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah, it sucks. I agree. It sucks.
Hopefully they got it on the market. Clearly,
they clearly got the tribal one from a market too, and that looked great. And then there's the old question answer relay. This
There's a bit of a twist on it. That's to collect the tokens and write down the answer, and then the first person who gets back ends the challenge. But then it's still about who gets the most right. So it's like a little bit different to what we've seen normally.
I agree because I actually we don't like the handbag necklace. No, it's like the second worst immunity idol I've seen, immunity totem that I've seen this year. Only after the disaster that was Survivor UK and the stick that they came up with for tribal immunity, fucking production. Anyway, this situation, look, I agree. It is done well. It started off, and I was a bit annoyed with it because I'm like, he cut out most of the story, and now I can't answer the questions at home, which is the only thing I generally enjoy about this sort of challenge.
It would have gone on for way too long.
Yeah. Yes, obviously. Yes, it's a fucking stick. That's what everyone said on social media when we saw the UK. We watched the UK Survivor. Look, I get it. Okay, fine, but it works well. I'm like, this challenge is super boring, and it's just a lot of running, and I don't even hearing them answering the question. And then Sam shouts freeze, and no one actually freezes. And then I'm like, oh, this is how it works. This is actually quite fun. They've gathered tokens, and now we're going to reveal whether they've got the right answer or not. Tyler wins
Sean was
immunity.
the fastest, but he just didn't get enough right.
Yeah, just, boom. Tyler wins immunity, and it's just such a star. This woman's a star. That's how I'm feeling at this point. I was loving it.
I'm loving her.
Yeah. She also gets a reward. It's a lunch. She takes Sean because
food. You don't need to have reward.
What's a lasagna? Like a big lasagna? Be like,
nap time. Absolutely.
Yeah,
with garlic bread. Like it's just like
Do they give them wine too?
If you look at it, I think they had Coca-Cola to perhaps offset the. Coca-Cola would actually be quite good. There's a lot of caffeine, a lot of sugar. That would actually be pretty good.
It'd be a good around that time of day too. Like just a little hit.
Even if you don't like Coke, just that sort of like sugar caffeine hit would give you a bit of a pepper.
For sure.
She takes Sean because he obviously worked really hard on the challenge.
He wanted him out of the way.
I think that was the right move to take Sean.
I agree.
And then she takes this new person that's been dropped into the game, like Andy. She's like an intruder in Big Brother. She's wandered in at the merge. Haven't seen her before. And then she gets a confessional. I'm like, is this her first confessional?
It would be.
And I said, is Nick going to be okay with her taking Andy? Why is Tyler taking Andy? She knows Tyler. I'm like, I don't know if this is like the smart play here for Tyler to take Andy on this reward.
It didn't seem to have any real fallout. But again, if they were Survivor fans, you would have a lot of, I can't believe that she took Andy to Applebee's or whatever it was. Like, we would have like one of a reaction.
Side note to Survivor 46 for those that are watching this that don't follow all of the like machinations which appear off Survivor and get found out on social media later. Do you know why Liz was actually so pissed?
Because other people offered her their spot and Q said no.
Yeah.
But then the very next episode, same thing.
Both Maria and Kenzie said, you can have my spot, Liz. And like Q's like, no, I chose you. You're coming on my
the next episode, Maria wins reward and doesn't give her food. Like
Q, just so you know, Q is the best character. I don't even really like Q that much, but he's the best character they've had in like 10 years. Because like he just doesn't give
Danny, remove him for saying that. No.
You don't think he's a great character?
I'm not a fan of Q. Get rid of him. I hate the Q skirt.
We'll look forward to him being back on season 50 because he is a lock, baby. He is a lock.
He's probably going to win the Australian one.
I think America wouldn't let you do both, so I'd say he's going to be on 50. Especially
he'd be too new to come to Australia. They'll be looking at legends to come here,
which is good because they probably won't make the 50.
They won't be looking at like new era. They'll be looking at old era to come here.
50, they also have to meet the
like 30, 39 down.
They also have to do the diversity criteria in season 50. So if you've got a black contestant who's so big like Q, that's a lot.
Fair.
100%.
Australia doesn't care about diversity, so we'll just take all the white people.
The plethora of white nerds are in a lot of trouble because they're all fighting for one spot, and there's a lot of those white nerds.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Anyway, Q's a good character. I say I don't like him, but he's a good character. Who says that? Who says no? I choose who comes on the reward, and he can't swap.
He's making for brilliant TV. He's making for brilliant TV.
This is going to be boring as without him. Anyway, like Charlie's great, but he's a game boy. It's boring. Anyway.
He's a Swiftie, though, so I immediately love him.
Yeah. I don't really get Taylor Swift.
We digress again. Let's come back to LRGs.
We'll talk about that off screen.
We can debate this after the fact. Let's come back.
Okay, anyway, Tyler's just whatever plan she had to play low and slow is long gone by this point. She's targeting Lily as hard as possible.
The thing is, if she was there with 10 other people that are strategists like her, she would have been able to dial it down. But because no one is doing anything, she kind of had to. Like she probably only did a little bit, but compared to everyone else, it's like, whoa, this is a gamer.
Yeah. Whoa. And she's like, we're going to do Liam. We're going to take Lily with a split on Lily and Liam. And then
they're all like, nah.
And then Liam asks Nick in front of like Lily and Kyle about like Sean's idol. And then like Nick's like, what the fuck? It's like my information. He's like, oh, sorry for like stealing your thunder. Not letting them, you reveal it to those guys. Nick's not happy about that.
Well, he wanted to reveal the first one. Because as far as I know, they got 2.
Oh, idols, yeah.
Yeah, idols.
And then Nick says Nick's good with Tyler taking Sean. He thinks she took Sean so that they could make a play on voting Sean. Sounds legit. Seems happy enough about that. And then they've come up with the plan to... What is their plan here?
To vote out Sean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. They blindside Sean. They said, don't tell Andy. Nick agrees with it. Tyler's keen on the Sean plan. Is this the episode where Lily... No, it's the next one she does that. I'm like, Tyler's just... And then Sean just goes. Doesn't play his idol. Doesn't have any clue
in his exit thing, he's like, yeah, something was off. It's like, then play your idol.
Yeah, I'm just like, I've written that here. I'm like, what?
He's like, oh, I didn't want to play it too early. Like, okay,
if something is off, play your fucking idol. Just protect yourself.
Here's the thing about playing idols, right? No one... Rarely do they ever hit. Rarely do they ever hit. Rarely, right? You're more likely to play it wrong or go out with it. Here's the thing. No one ever, like, remembers the people that played it wrong. Like, you know, in terms of, like, if you're worried about being embarrassed that you'll play it wrong, it's like, oh, what an idiot. You know, you played it. No one remembers.
I think it's more that you play it and then you've lost it and you want to be able to have it for another time. But you can always find another one. They love rehiding idols most of the time.
Yeah.
So play it if you're not sure. If you waste it, it's better than going out with it in your pocket.
My view is the best time to play an idol is when you kind of don't like the vote outcome or you don't really care, but you know the outcome. And then you can actually control a vote. Like, actually make a difference.
As in, it's not... So they're not voting... I've got an idol. They're not voting for me, but they're voting out Danny. So I idol Danny.
Yeah. That's the time to play it. Like, even if you're not that, like, close with Danny, now you will be. Like, the David Wright thing with, what's her name?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most effective idol players I've seen. Or Russell playing his on Parvati. You know, that's the sort of thing that, like, actually builds an alliance. And
David Dennett playing it on Tarzan.
Yeah. This is the thing. Like, there's more value in that than saving it for yourself, in my view. And at least you make a move. Aston says, with the info at hand, you surely don't play your idol here. You got to go with your gut. If your gut says something's up, you got to consider playing it.
If you're going into your voting confessional saying something is up here, and you go into back, and then you go back and sit and don't play your idol, then I think that's stupid. Like if you're like in that moment something is off, play it.
Yeah.
The worst you can do is be wrong and be safe.
Mm-hmm. If you feel good and they snowed you, all power to them. Like, you know, you can only trust yourself and how your gut in these games. And if you're not going to listen to your gut, like, then you got to go with it.
Correct. Mel, the gut always.
The problem
knows.
is Sean is a skinny guy. He doesn't have a gut. So
he's very fit. Mel says the gut always knows, you know, and you know it's always very easy when you got a super idol to say that, but you know, and then Aston C forgot about that he was off about it, but yeah, like that's what he should have done, and he was obviously a threat. In a tribe of very physical, threatening people, he was the most physically threatening, you know. So I understand what happened, you know, in terms of why they went for him. I don't understand why he'd play it. I don't think he was a super fan of the game.
No.
So I get it. Also, I just don't feel like a lot of people here were desperate to win this.
No.
Look, in previous podcasts, I've made my feelings about winning apparent. I think you go into everything wanting to win, and then you can have fun along the way. That's fine, but you should always be trying to win. That should be the goal.
And I don't think there was a high percentage of players here that were... I'm not saying they weren't playing to win, but they just didn't care about winning that much.
I
don't understand that at all.
That doesn't fathom in my brain. It doesn't fathom in my brain at all. I can't.
Every org I play, someone at start will be like, what's your goal? I'm like, to win. Like, how is that even a question? They're like, oh, do you want to be the best player? Do you want to be the villain? I'm like, well, I will always be the villain, but I want to win. That's why I'm here.
Sam has said this group of people is super competitive, and I agree with that. There was I think, and look,
they want to win the challenges.
You can see that in the challenges, how competitive they are, for sure.
They're super competitive sports people. Yes. That's what they are, right? So they're sports people with sports people's ethics, which is about playing fair and honest and trying hard and not
winning as a team.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this is, look, some of them are, but this the sort of people that you get around for a board game night and like they play a deception-based game and everyone around the table wants the fucking, saboteur or the villain, or whatever the like card is where you get to do the dodgy shit. And everybody look at you like, I'm the hero. And everyone wants that.
No, I think these are the people that in a board game night, if you can deceive another person, they don't like to do it because they feel bad.
I think these are the people in a board game night playing Monopoly.
That's not a board game night.
No offense to people who love Monopoly, but yeah, so I just feel like that's board games are a green stable. Yeah, what sort of board games? Are they playing Dead of Winter or some casual Mafia? Anyway, I just got the feel that like Sean is the sort of person who would have rather like gone out than backstab someone.
And see, like I was wanting to backstab people. That's why I was there.
It's a bit harder when everyone knows everyone. Well, not everyone. People know people. It gets a bit more personal. And, look, this is the vibe I get. Even the final five, like, the people are going, I want to win, but also, So
but does that people knowing each other compared to, like, Drunk Fiver when I just go around trying to blindside everyone? And I know everyone, so that's what makes it all the more fun.
It does, but like these are different sorts of people. They're also not drunk, and the fact is, I just feel like they were like I don't think they had the passion for it. I'm not saying they didn't care, because they were people that were recruited by Sam to play in his game, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll do this, whatever. In most other LRGs, you have people that, and look, there's more of this in a lot of the first seasons, like Backyard 1, I think you can definitely see this as well, where they've come up, they're the friends and they're there to be part of it, and they haven't gone through a casting process. They haven't gotten rejected by a bunch of other LRGs. This is their dream now to play, Melbourne Survivor, Sydney Survivor, whatever. Like the idea of going out first, about not making merch, of winning this thing. And look, it's only become more so because, now we're making podcasts like this and everyone's talking about everyone. So like, it's not something that's one and done. No one will ever think about again. And I just feel like, no one, this community didn't know this existed. This community sort of didn't exist at the time this was made. No one would have known that they were going to go on to be talked about for 3 hours on a podcast about the game they played, right? So they didn't know what they were playing for. But I feel like because of that, there's not the absolute passion to win that you will see in pretty much any other LRG that's going to come out, or the ones we're going to cover in the future.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree.
And Sam also says totally fair. Okay, so going next to Tyler says idols are a threat. And I'm like, you're a threat, Tyler. You're the threat.
My first note about episode 5, everyone is dislocating their shoulders, giving themselves a pat on the back for that move. They're all so chuffed with themselves. Oh, how good are we, guys? How we fooled him. It's like, shut up. You blindsided someone. Go to the next one.
And they think Sean had Alex's idol. I don't know what they're thinking. And now it's raining. I'm like, didn't see that coming. Like, what's a Survivor without a bit of rain?
Well, I mean, Nick, Sam says at the start of the day, like, they were unsure, like, about the weather all week because apparently been raining all week.
So make it harder for them. That's what we like.
But that's what he was like, but we're here. You're in the elements. That's what you come to Survivor for.
And I love
to play Survivor for the elements, but sure.
Oh, I want it. I wanted the elements.
Oh, but I don't go there.
I didn't want it to rain, but I was happy to be. I wanted to sleep outside.
Specifically for the elements.
The rain just made it better. It's like, how tough are you?
Can't comment. Didn't rain for us.
I like the rain. Stuff it. And I love they all have to sit in the rain in the tribal council. They got the little gazebo for like the tribe time, but sit in the rain. And it would have been so easy to put them under cover. And like, I think Backyard sometimes has cover, but no cover. Love it. That's how I like it. They got the old, holding the pole, stacking it. It's another great song. Every one of these is
OG, like so good.
And like Lily got herself kicked out for making it harder for herself. She was holding it too low. I was like, she's making it harder. Let her go.
I just feel like as the day goes on, Lily gets more and more frustrated with Sam and the rules that she's putting on.
You can see it. You can see it, can't you?
The eating challenge, especially.
Yeah, the eating challenge is where it was like, you could, like, it's a little sister voice. Sam!
Big brother!
So She's like, I'm playing your stupid game, and now you're making all these stupid
Be nice
fucking
to
rules.
me.
Anyway, the music here at the end is fantastic, and then Liam wins immunity, and then Tyler's worried about Kyle being too chill and good at the challenges. Like, he's just a massive goat. Like,
people's champion.
Yeah, is this gonna go? Nick's backing her up.
This is not footy.
And Tyler's like, if I was on the jury, I'd vote Kyle. I'm like, would you?
No, you
don't.
wouldn't.
You would not.
And you don't. There's no way. No way in hell that a player of Tyler's caliber would ever vote for Kyle.
No.
Andy wants Lily. Tyler's like, Lily doesn't have an idol. And I'm like, so she doesn't have an idol. I'm like,
Lily definitely does not have an idol.
I'm like, the certainty of someone playing a dominant game. He's like, I'm so on top of this game. I know everything.
Lily wants to Liam her so she can play her idol.
Yeah, get the votes on me, and then I'll play my idol. And then she's thinking of voting for Tyler or Kyle. But it's got to be Tyler. But Liam would prefer Kyle or Nick. I'm like, why would anyone vote for Kyle? And he's like, what the fuck? And then Tyler feels good about Nick. They come together and she says he's more strategic than he says, which is absolutely true.
He's reading him really well here.
But she's okay to be at the end with him, and also Andy, who is a goat. She doesn't say Andy's a goat, but like that's the gist she's giving. But she says Andy speaks well. But I think Tyler's playing such a game that she can go with Andy and Nick.
And even get to the end. Who cares who it's with?
It doesn't matter. She'll beat them anyway. So like it's that like I'm not threatened by anyone. And then it cuts. It's quite a good cut here because she says Andy speaks well, and then it cuts to Andy speaking really well about voting
Tyler out.
Yeah. And it makes a file for with Kyle, Liam, Nick, and Nick says to Lily, "We're going to go old tribe and vote Lily," but she doesn't know who she should trust because, and then Lily's like, "That's what you said before." Lily's like, "What? This is the first time he says we're going to vote for you." He does it again later. But this time he says, "Yeah, we're going to vote for you," but now we're not doing that. And she's like, "What?" Yeah.
And then she's like, "They're doing my job for me."
And then she doesn't know if she should trust it. Particularly, this is a tough one for her because she's told Liam to spread around a vote for her. And now people are saying, we were going to vote for you, but now we're not thinking of doing that. Yeah. And now you don't know, hang on a minute, are they voting for me or not? Like, do I play this idol? Like, she had a plan, get the votes, play the idol. But now it's like, I might not need to do that, but equally, my name is out there because I put my name out there. And because she thought it was going to be her or Liam, but the option is now it's neither of them. So it's like, doesn't want to play the idol anymore. Tricky one. And then
we get everyone idol hunting together in the rain.
Yeah. And and she doesn't know she should trust. Nick told her. Lily, hang on, who told her to look for it? I don't know who looking at here.
They told her to look for it for Tyler's sake.
Oh yeah, pretend you're looking for the idol because you're going home. She's like, but I have the idol. I don't know what's going on. This is a tough situation. I love how they're sitting in the rain, but the jury have the umbrellas. And Lily's going the hard sell at tribal, and I didn't think it was very believable. Though Tyler thought it was legit, so good one. And if I was Tyler, I would be sus about what Lily's saying. Like, I wouldn't buy it. Like, I would be like, she's going too hard on this. But, Tyler didn't have an idol, so what are you going to do about it? And then I've got a note, Purple Andy is in a purple poncho. I don't know why Sam did Andy so dirty in this. Like, where were her confessionals? Did the tapes get lost? She would have been serving.
I think it's the Michelle treatment of the footage just got lost.
I'm feeling like that's what I mean. She was good content. She was a fan. Though she was a fan, but she also voted for Kyle at the end. So I'm a bit unsure how much of a fan she actually was. I'm like, oh no, Lily, what are you doing? She plays her idol. I'm like, oh.
No, it's like we were saying about Sean though. Just play it if you're not sure. She would have needed to have like elephant balls to hang on to that round.
Elephant ovaries.
Sure.
I'm trying to be gender inclusive, even if you're not going to be. Jesus.
Jesus.
All
right.
Tyler goes 5-1 over Lily, nullified. Tyler says she'll vote for Nick. If you didn't vote for her, I'm like, I guess she hasn't computed the votes yet.
It's like they were all for you, honey.
There was one vote for Lily. That was yours. Okay, now we have the eating challenge, and apparently Kyle has to sit out of this because he has allergies. What do you think?
Really, like
Vegan?
potentially, I would say that's probably more likely than
Would you just say that he's vegan?
Well, maybe they don't want to
how about
reveal.
we have foods there that all the contestants can eat?
Well, they clearly want to do insects. So if you're like a hardcore vegan and don't eat insects, then there's nothing they could do about it, right?
Yeah.
We've had this argument.
I don't love eating challenges when they're labeled as these are delicacies or things.
These weren't delicacies. These were just actual insects.
Yeah.
This is no cultural offense.
Yeah, no.
Here.
Like if you're going to do an eating challenge, I like Backyard's method of let's just take two things and mix them together to make it really gross. Yeah. Have Vegemite and mayo with sardines. Here you go.
This wasn't like a delicacy though.
You said something about that though.
Yeah. The thing is, we've had this argument in the Sydney coverage when we covered it originally.
Well, I mean, that was rough.
They labeled it as gross food and it was Chinese.
No, I'm not. No, I agree with that. That was obviously very poor. We said you can't call Chinese food gross. Be a lemon chicken. But like that said, lemon chicken is kind of gross. But it's
and Danny's
obviously. I'm not sure about that. I'm talking. My view was
killed Christy Bennett with a muesli bar. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about your allergies or your food preferences or whatever. Don't eat it if you don't want to eat it. I don't care. I'm not into the catering for your preferences in the eating challenge.
No, I'm not vegan. They find that insects gave a warning that people who are allergic to seafood might have similar effects.
Because like the crustacean effect.
Okay. I like that, but I also like even more that he just sat him the fuck out. Like you may say it's unfair.
That's not him choosing not to. He just couldn't.
I reckon he would.
You got to put the health and well-being of the players above all else.
What are you supposed to do? Not do your challenge?
Come up with something else.
Whatever. It's not like Kyle needed immunity. In fact, he got implied immunity from this. Implied immunity.
We don't want to vote.
Yeah, because they won't vote for him because it was not fair that he couldn't do the challenge. I'm like, oh my God. I fucking hated it. I hated every bit of that. I was like, really?
I hate it here.
I hate it here.
We gave him an option based on that advice and he chose to sit out.
Well, you're not dying for Brisbane Survivor, are you? But did you also tell him, Sam, that they were insects? Or did you say it has a similar warning to seafood? Because I wonder if he's like, I'm not fucking eating the insects.
No, just choose not to.
Yeah, I don't know do that.
That's how Andy and Nick basically just gave up.
Oh, the mealworms, Andy just gives up. He gives it up. Crickets, Nick just walks off.
So basically, it was
Liam. She coughs it up and then it splatters over the table. Then she gives up. She attempts it at least first. Nick won't attempt the second one.
Nick was just like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
How can you? I'd rather eat the worms. No, the crickets and.
I'd rather eat the crickets.
Yeah, the crickets are a better eat than the worms.
That would be like crunchy.
I'd just swallow the whole shit. I wouldn't even bite down.
It'd just be like eating a prawn tail, I think.
Yeah.
And then the ants just be fiddly and annoying. I like the hands behind their back, and then that makes it even hard. Bobbing for insects. This is good. I've got Liam gets it in a close one, and Lily is pissed at Sam.
Every 5 Sam, and it's like a mouthful of food. Look, I'm done. No, you are not done.
High, it's just the young sizzling energy. Her voice gets higher pitched every time she says Sam.
It reminds me of Bobby John in Palau when he's like, "No, I'm finished," and he's got half the duck egg still in his mouth.
Mel says that mealworms are like eating a pretzel. Did you eat the centurion egg, Mel? I can't remember. That looked like the hardest thing I've seen. Actually, the hardest thing I've ever seen in the eating challenge, and it is a delicacy. It was in the Amazing Race, and they were in somewhere in Southeast Asia, and there's a place where they deep fry tarantulas, and you eat the tarantulas. But equally, there's just tarantulas like everywhere wandering around the store.
Oh, that wouldn't bother me.
That was the most recent celebrity one, right? Australian?
Oh, I don't know. I saw an American one like years ago. They probably just rehashed the shit. But yeah, that looked rough. Deep fried tarantula.
That I imagine is quite chewy and tough.
Yeah. Anyway, Andy's worried that everyone else is worried about her big move, which was to get rid of Tyler.
Do we think they were looking at her before she said that? Is it one of those things where she was like, guys, I think I'm a big threat now? And they're all like, oh, yeah, you are.
Did she say that to everyone, did she?
She said it to a couple of people.
I don't know. It's a bit of this thing, which is part of the current meta. And I'm not saying they're getting in the meta here, where everyone wants credit for the move, especially where you're seen as a goat or a nothing. So Liz is so upset about not getting her credit in 46 for the moves because no one's going to give her the win. So she has to start getting her moves recognized. No one sees her as a winner right now. So if she gets the end, it won't matter, right? So you need credit. If you're Maria, you don't need the credit, right? You can just get to the end. So that's who Tyler is, or even perhaps Lily. She can get to the end. Andy recognizes she needs to be recognized for her moves, but it's very dangerous to push hard to say, hey, how good was my move?
Yeah, you hold on to that for your final tribal council speech. Tick, 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 tick. Here's the shit I did.
You're correct, but the current meta...
Sometimes people don't... No, they don't believe it. Sometimes at final tribal, if you say, yeah, I made this happen, they'll be like, did you though?
Yeah. This is the thing.
That's how Gabler won, because the jury shut all over the other two who thought they...
This didn't align. What they were saying did not align with the jury. The same thing happened in playing with fire. Like, it wasn't until the game I watched the game again and discuss it that I realized what a good game John had played. With me, Max, Brady, we just didn't think John had done anything. We thought Laurel had done it all, right? So we just voted for Chloe because, like, at least we knew her. It's hard to claim these moves if people already don't see you that way. And no one was seeing Andy as a particular winner, so she sort of had to claim it. But
it's hard to change someone's perception at final tribal.
Yeah. Maybe she beats a Kyle, though. This is a final two, and there's a few goats around, so it's probably not necessarily essential.
Well, Andy out-talked Kyle at a final tribal.
Andy can
Everyone would out-talk Kyle at a final tribal.
It's true.
Kyle's approach is to speak softly and carry a big stick. He is not interested in showboating or big-letting himself.
So I want a challenge, and yeah. That's my
Kyle will be fascinating in the job interview because, in a job interview, you've really got to sell yourself. Like, why do you think you should be good for this role? I'm pretty good.
Oh,
I've been interviewing people of late, and some people they can't answer that question. And he's like, why should we hire you?
And I'm not saying there's not good things about Kyle. I think he's obviously very fit. He's a smart skater. He's got great social game. He's just not the kind of person who's interested in talking himself up in any way.
Pump up his own tires, yeah.
No.
He's a very humble person. He's just a very nice person. He's not interested in doing that. He's real classic Australian bloke in that way. Very down to earth. Not going to big note myself. Don't care.
Yeah, fair.
Which is great as a person, but it's not interesting for my television watching.
Correct. It's not the kind of player we enjoy watching.
And look, I as I've mentioned earlier, I binged this in the last 2 days. So I was at the point now where I was kind of getting a little bit, I was towards the end, and I was like, am I just watching this because I have to podcast about this later today? Yes, I am. Let's be a bit more entertaining, please.
I hit that point at the end as well. The episodes become a bit longer. You don't have that little 30-minute. You're like, I can do 30 minutes. Now it's 40, and this one's an hour and something. I get you, man.
And they got rid of all the good talkers.
Yeah, Liam wants to keep Kyle because still sharpen steel and all that coach shit that he's trying to run. Nick's just happy to go along. Lily says Andy doesn't try enough in the challenges, and who gives a fuck? But this is the narrative that works for Liam, that works for Lily, that works for Kyle.
Yeah, I agree.
She doesn't try. She just gave up in the running one. She just gave up in the eating one. So did half of you in the eating one, but whatever. It's the narrative that fits what they want to have happen.
Look, sometimes I try my absolute hardest and I still suck at a challenge. So, it's hard when you're not very good.
Andy's like, let's go for a walk. And someone says, seriously? Like, you want to go for a walk? Why? It's raining out there and we're all voting for you. Like,
let's go get water.
Yeah. This is quite good. Andy says Nick isn't a threat. Incorrect. But
Correct,
Kyle recognizes that Nick has been playing well and is getting in people's ear.
Hmm.
And then Nick thinks the nerds on the council or whatever it's called won't appreciate Kyle's quiet game and he wants to take him as a goat. That's my favorite line.
He's not wrong.
The nerds on the council or whatever it's called, like, aren't going to like Kyle's game.
I mean, he's not wrong. He reads it well.
I just love it because he's not like a survivor. He's clearly like, I think he's like, is that my wife, right? My wife does not really like Survivor, but would know so much about Survivor because she's just had to live with me for like 15 years. Mm-hmm. And like, she's seen episodes when I'm watching it and she's just going to go to sleep and like lie on the couch and whatever. Like, but she does not really a fan of it. And I feel like Nick has been indoctrinated by survivors just in his presence by Sam his entire life and just gets it. That is like, is a fucking,
doesn't really care. Yeah.
Sounds like my mom.
Yeah.
She's heard enough about it from me and my sister, but she doesn't like watching it because of all the nastiness.
That's the best bit.
Exactly.
That was my favorite series of confessionals. Andy saying Nick isn't a threat, which is so wrong. Kyle knowing that Nick's a threat, and he's been playing well, and because he's playing a strong social game was here, and that quote about the nerds on the council or whatever.
Like nerds on the council or
whatever. Nick wants to keep Lily one more. They go to tribal. Andy goes hard, like she's hard here. About
she goes off. She like basically claims responsibility for the blind side and basically tells them all they're all stupid if they vote her out. Like that's the consensus of what she's saying. She's like, you're all stupid. If you vote me out, you're done. Like good luck to you.
And she's not wrong.
And then she's so salty, and then she calls them all goats.
She
doubles down on it in her fight, like in the jury villa. She like doubles down on the fact that they're all stupid, and then calls them goats.
But you guys skipped over another idol find. Why do you guys keep skipping them?
Now, I don't know what happened in my watch here because I'm like, where did Nick get the idol?
It was in the camp chair where the little like stubby holder thing is. He unzipped. He's like, oh, hello. And it's funny, he opened it and he put his hand and he left his hand in there for ages. Like, just got to have my hand on this thing. And then when no one was looking, chucked it in his pocket.
Well,
is this
he also sees it and looks like directly at Lily. Like, I don't know if he's like trying to get Lily's attention. Like, he kind of looks at her like, but Lily's like oblivious. And then it's entertaining.
Is this a merge idol? Is this a rehidden?
Probably a rehidden one.
Sean idol.
Lily's idol.
Was there a merge idol? No.
Not that we saw.
No.
Yeah, rehidden Sean. One of the two.
Probably the merge.
There were 3 pre-merge, so
yeah.
Probably didn't need a merge one.
Probably enough. The first challenge is holding like plates with balls. Nick goes, then Lily, and then Liam and Kyle get to 3 balls. I'm like, Liam's locked in, but then he makes a very poor strategic move here. When they're going to 1 foot, it's a 10-second countdown.
I'd be going at 1 second.
Yeah, Liam starts doing it 10. It's a live transition. Liam starts doing it 10 or 9, and Kyle just waits and doesn't do it because Liam drops for Kyle even has to.
I would have dropped before I got to 3 balls, but yeah, if I was good at this sort of challenge, I would have been like 10, 9, 8, like 3, 2, okay, then lift. Last possible second.
However, we did just watch Warren die, where Jake left it to the very last second and was about a second too late and was disqualified from the challenge.
Yeah, so you don't actually go before time.
The difference was Jake had to change hands with the thing he was holding and keep it balanced. Whereas he said to lift your foot. Just lift your foot. That's what you had to do in 10 seconds. Like you can do that.
I'd be like moving my way onto the leg I'm going to stand on.
Shifting your weight.
The other leg there is like just like a little extra support thing that you can just easily lift up. I'm like doing it here, realizing that you guys can't actually see what I'm doing. But
yeah, I shifted then too. I shifted on to like one.
And then Liam says he's exhilarated to lose. Exhilarated. Final 5. Just lost immunity. He's like, doesn't want to be immune all the time. I'm like, this might be famous last words. Does he go here? Yeah. Does he? This Liam goes?
Yeah, because finale's final 4, yeah.
I'm like famous last words, saying I'm exhilarated to lose.
You will never hear me say that I'm exhilarated to lose.
Never.
Nick thinks that all 4 of them are in contention for a Brisbane All-Stars one day. I'm like, oh yeah.
No, mate.
Just be beautiful. Danny's being remarkably nice tonight. I don't know what's going on there. She's just no commenting a lot of this stuff.
No, I'm actually like my notes from Andy being voted out have disappeared, so I'm running blind on you currently. So I'm just
it's fine.
I'm just being like when I say things like, yeah.
So I was when you had said about Nick, I was trying to find my notes, but I couldn't find. No, there's maybe 3 people I'd pull back to play again, maybe
from this season. Hang on, let me say 3 people from the whole thing. All right,
maybe
Alex.
I wouldn't put Alex on All Stars. If there was some sort of like second chance, like pre-word boot season.
I'd bring Lily back. She's the only green that hasn't won, so let her come back. And I'd bring Liam back just for the lols.
I think Tyler. Tyler's the star.
Oh, I forgot about Tyler. Okay.
Tyler's the star. Liam's not a lols guy for me. He's a bit too serious for my liking. He's a great player. Good physically, good socially. He's got a good strategy, but he's a bit boring.
Yeah, it's Tyler and Lily for me here.
Yeah. And Alex on like a second chance style for me. Yeah, how could
Mel, I forgot about Tyler because like she's out and she's not written in my notes in front of me. Like I'm looking at people that are here.
Okay, so we're getting Liam wants to vote Lily. Ask Kyle what he wants. Nick wants to vote for Liam. Nick thinks he can beat Lily.
I did like at the start of this episode, they talked about how everyone sort of knows each other. They're like, okay, Nick and Kyle have been together the whole game. Lily and Liam have been together the whole game. But then you've got, okay, Lily and Nick are brother and sister, and then Liam and Kyle are mates. Like it's kind of like a love square.
And what do you think? Nick thinks he can beat Lily at the end. I feel this is some older brother confidence. I think she'd wipe the floor with him if it was the
Lily would have won against anyone.
Lily wins if she's in the final 2.
Yeah. So I'm like, you can't beat her.
Lily and Tyler final 2. Who wins?
Oh, Tyler.
I think so too. But it would have been close. We might have had a tie because we had an even number on the jury.
Or Tyler stumps too hard that she pisses a few people off and Lily takes the win just based off niceties.
I think the tribal council would have been a big factor.
Yeah.
Like how they actually played.
Yeah. The performance of the final tribal council would be a huge factor there.
Which I think Tyler would probably do better than Lily.
Yeah, I think she probably would.
It depends how hard she stumps.
There's votes to be gotten there from people that aren't like super fans that might not. Yeah, as you're saying, Danny, if she's pushing too hard about how great her game is, they might not be receptive to it.
Correct. Yeah.
Like people on this jury.
Lily, I think, can read them a little bit better about like when to pull and push.
Lily's speaking is like Liam speaking Lily up for surviving, and then Kyle's like, "Didn't you do that as well?" Kyle has his moments. Liam's like, "Yeah."
But Liam went to one more tribal than Lily did.
Yeah, and he's like, "Didn't you do that?" And he's like, "Yeah."
If Liam's at the end, we don't. It's kind of like John. We get there. Went to every single tribal council. The Denise story.
But they're voting Liam. Look, he's the bigger threat from a challenge point of view. If you're Kyle, you're Nick. I got a chance. You probably don't have, like, look, Kyle maybe has a chance against Liam, but that's about it. Like, he's pretty elite at the challenges.
Yeah.
He's got to go. And he's probably winning at the end too.
Yeah.
I think he actually would have the best win equity because he has the story. He has the strategy. He's been a big player the whole game. and he's pretty nice, and he's able to sort of talk about himself in a quite an uplifting manner, but he does it in a way that isn't too self-aggrandizing. So I do feel for this jury, he would be a particularly large threat to be able to be humble, but also speak to his achievements, which is probably what you needed to do.
But then it doesn't really matter who's convincing who of what, because Nick just games it so that Liam is the only person who's really not immune here.
That's right. Before we get to that bit, which is an amazing move, I've got in my notes. Nick just said plurality. No, I'm saying it wrong. You know what I mean? Plurality. And I'm like,
plurality.
I thought he wasn't a fan of Survivor. Is Sam putting on like Shannon Gus podcasts in the car, and he's just heard the word plurality like 50 million times and rolling out in his Survivor?
Yeah, if you're not a huge fan and to know that word, that's pretty impressive.
Look, I love a plurality vote. I was very excited at the 2-1-1 earlier. The only thing that would have made it better if it was 1-1-1-1, but yeah. You
need to add that question for your deep dive, CK, as to where he heard the word plurality from.
Yeah. Well, it's deep dive because, like, frankly, even as a lifelong Survivor fan, it's not a word that I really encountered until I started listening to Shannon Gus podcast, where the word is like, it's like a favorite
love
word.
the plurality and the dichotomy and the
The dichotomy. Yeah.
Okay, so then Nick has noted that Liam's been to every tribal and survived them all, and he said he'd love to blindside Lily, and he says it in front of her. And she's like, "What?
Are you talking about me? Yeah, I wanted to blindside you."
But it makes so much more sense to vote out Liam, right? Let's just do that. And then I'm like,
is Alex left and right from my brothers here?
Tribal, is Alex wearing his idol? I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, nice one. And then, this whole move. So to recap, for those that haven't watched it for a while, Lily pulls out a necklace during the tribal, puts it on, and Sam doesn't recognize immediately and says, "How are you feeling?" Or she's like, "Well, I feel pretty safe."
You don't have immunity, and she's like, "Yes, I do."
Yes, I do. He's like, "Oh, okay," because obviously Sam knows she doesn't have an idol, so he's like, "Where's this come from?" And I'm like, "What is this? Is this Nick's? Is this overplaying?" And I'm like, Liam says, "This is exciting." I'm like, "You're fucked, mate." And then I'm like, it doesn't seem like this was Nick's based on Nick's acting. Like, this is really well played by him. And then I've got Andy looks unimpressed.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Nick continues to be uninspiring at Tribal Council and just completely underselling his game. Oh, I'm not strategic. I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, I'm just sort of here.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I don't really know what's going on.
Well, it's a good thing he did. Otherwise, maybe Kyle wouldn't have taken him to the end.
Yeah, maybe convince Kyle of this. He starts building up Liam. It's what Nick's sort of self-deprecating public game here works so well as long as he's at the end with Kyle. I feel like if you've been selling this narrative that you're not that great, and then you end up with someone who everyone thinks is pretty great, a Lily or a Liam, like I think you're probably in trouble. Though this move, I think, got him a hell of a lot of credit.
Yeah.
It's a big move. It doesn't really do anything or move the dial because Liam was getting voted out anyway.
But it just makes sure that if Kyle was thinking about, sending Lily and Liam to a fire-making challenge, not that he would know what that would entail, or any sort of tiebreaker, it just sort of forced his hand of like, oh shit, well I can't vote for Lily now.
So it just makes it look like makes him look like he's in control.
Yeah,
he's in front of the jury.
It gives him a semblance of control.
Especially when she goes to play it, as soon as she takes it off, he's just like, "Yep, thank you, that's mine."
Yeah, he gives Lily implied immunity. He has his own immunity because he plays it. Kyle is immune, and Liam knows when the idol he takes the idol back and plays it on himself. You can see Liam's face. He knows he's fucked.
He's like, "Oh, okay, I'll just get my torch now, will I?"
Yeah, because of that, they just played that, and look. It's a little bit over the, overplaying over top, but it's Final Four. You got to make an impact. It doesn't do anything, but it does. But I don't know if the result really matters because it's particularly in this game where not too much has happened other than probably the fantastic Alex vote, which is so in the past now. Something like this on your resume, even if it didn't make a difference, just the planning, the procedure, and the execution, even if it was unnecessary, I think is still pretty valuable.
No, I completely agree.
he might have even had a shot against Lily after this move. Like we said before, but I guess the problem is it's his move, but she's so intrinsically involved in it as well that
I still think even if it wasn't, even if it was with Kyle, she still wipes the floor with him.
So I'm like, and then I realized I said all this nonsense for Liam to go 3-1 over Nick. Oh, Nick passed it to Lily. What a move. This would have been better if it was 2-2, is what I said. Like, if it was 2-2, that's the only way it could have been so much better. Kyle wants to go against Nick. Nick says he's taking Lily. Do you reckon that's legit? And she says she's taking Nick. Do you reckon the two of them have been legit there?
I would have loved to see that final tribal.
Do you reckon there's a bit of like, it's Sam's thing and the two siblings at the end? Like,
that would have been very cool. I would have loved it.
I wonder, you can tell at the end, like Lily votes for Nick, but you can tell she does it begrudgingly because she doesn't want him to win this and then like talk about how he beat her in Survivor for the rest of their fucking lives, right? So query whether neither of them really wanted to take the risk of actually having the other one actually beat them. Like, it's one thing to get beaten because you're on the jury. It's another thing to actually get beaten at Final Tribal Council.
No, see, I think, again, like I already said, I would vote my sister out in a heartbeat. But if I'm on the jury and she's at Final Tribal, I'm probably going to vote for her.
Yes. Yeah. But how would you be able to handle it if you both end up together at the end and she beats you, and then for the rest of the life she can say, I beat you at Final Tribal Council?
She wouldn't be the one to say it to me. She's not the competitive one. I am. She would just be like, oh, yeah, that was a fun experience. I'd be like, oh, God, I lost.
That would piss you off even more.
I lost to my big sister. Who doesn't know shit about Survivor.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand why they split votes.
There's a final challenge. It's sort of a number code thing. I thought it was pretty good.
My notes for the challenge: stations with items to count, maths, keys, slide puzzle.
Yeah, it's like this sort of the recent one in 45 where, they were using the prior seasons to remember what the numbers were. It was sort of fun.
I haven't watched
it. Based off the logos.
Sorry,
yeah, where JT was... No, the one where JT was craps, that one.
Oh, yeah.
And Gabler was coconuts because a bit nuts.
Yes. Yeah. Got it.
It was good. The New Year is not that great, but it has its moments. Okay, so I like the... Anyway, what happens? Kyle wins immunity and votes out Lily. I think we'll say about that. I like the artistic shots of the voting urn. We come in and Final Tribal Council, Kyle says, he starts by saying he didn't have any strategy or game plan. It's like, you just lost like...
That's fine to say if you follow it up with, I didn't want to have a set strategy. I needed to assess what the other players are doing. Like, I don't go in with a set strategy ever, but don't just say, oh, yeah, I'm just winging it. I flipped it. I'm here by, dumb luck.
I'm like, you just lost the vote of pretty much any like diehard super fan that's on that jury. If they were thinking about
there's many, but
Liam, it does not look impressed. He does vote for Kyle. Andy and Tyler also both look very unimpressed by this answer. Nick also says he didn't have a game plan, but then also says he had a plan, which was to be understated and be part of the plans, but not leading the plans. And he was always in like the right block of voters at the merge. Like, this is all true, but I've read it could have been better. Like, his game's actually quite strong, and he said it again, undersells himself. But I wonder if look, I don't know Nick. I've never met Nick. I'll meet him next week when I do a deep dive. He strikes me as a guy who would be comfortable talking himself up a bit. So he sort of understated himself here, but maybe it was that mindset of, God, if Kyle's going to go that low in, I can't come in like up here. I've got to, just be this much better than him in terms of like, Haley asked anything that stood out that surprised yourself. Nick said getting rid of Liam, but really wished he could have booted Liam. Like, just finish that up.
Just to put another boot in.
Kyle liked working with a team because that's not usual for him. Okay. So he's obviously an individual sports kind of guy, not a team sports kind of guy.
He plays tennis, yes.
Yeah. Georgia, what was with the move with the idol? She just wants to know. She wants to understand Nick's idol move better. And then he says, explained it. Alex, Kyle, you won challenges and would be a threat in the solo game. What was your best move, Kyle? Kyle's like, not my style to have moves. Just see what people brought to me. And Nick says, it was my overall game style. I was generally the swing vote. He says, Kyle, Nick was asked to say what Kyle's best move was. And he said Kyle voted correctly all the time and was never a target. But he didn't do any massive moves or blindsides, and he didn't outplay me. I thought that was a good answer.
That's a great answer.
Like I felt, why are you bringing up that like Kyle correctly voted all the time? Because I don't know if and was never a target. Because I don't know if Kyle's going to say that himself. But like, just the jury probably knows what Kyle did and didn't do. Just acknowledge it and say, but actually did things. Sean asked for your favorite ice cream flavor and donut, which is just like nonsense. I don't know.
I hate
those nonsense of the questions.
I hate them. I'm just like go home. You're not going to contribute to the jury.
You don't want to ask a question. You don't have to ask a question.
Also, if you're not sure, ask one of the players because I guarantee you there's people who want to ask questions, have more than one question that they want to know. Ask for a question from somebody else and ask that question.
I'm also a bit like, if you want to go pick a number between 1 and 10, like I don't love that either, but at least, people know what's going on. Like is there an answer to this that you want? Like, is there a correct answer? Like, what is this? What am I doing?
Yeah, they like pick your favorite flavor. You're like, great, that's what I'm going to vote for.
Yeah.
I would judge someone based on their favorite flavor of ice cream, but
But I'm also not going to award you Soul Survivor based off that either. Like, I'll judge you for it, but I'm not going to like give you the vote one way or the other based off it.
At least do the whole compare your game to a flavor of ice cream.
My favorite is just like chocolate. Is that too boring?
Basic.
It's classic.
I also like Neapolitan.
I love
that's basic.
Because it's good. They work together They work together so well. Like, but they shouldn't. One's just plain in the middle. It's a bit boring.
Basic.
Strawberries a bit average, and chocolate's so good. But somehow the three of them, it's a magic combination.
Basic. Give me cookies and cream.
Yeah, I don't want chunky bits in my ice cream.
Yeah, I'm a mint choc girl.
When I get a chocked up at the movie, it's mint choc.
Mint choc. Give me that every
day.
Look,
we've given Sean's time a question more time than anyone else's question. So
we like it as a question to get to know each other. I don't like it as a jury question.
We're friends having a chat.
Yeah.
Tyler says, Nick, early on, you needed to make alliances and build trust, and she gives Nick a bunch of credit for their mutual moves. She's just basically stumping for him. And she said, what were his thoughts on loyalty and breaking loyalties, i.e. booting her? And she says, Andy brought it up, and I was thinking about it, so I went with it. I thought that was a bit of a lame answer, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just, that happened. I was there.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But, I didn't run it. So, yeah. Andy says, why'd you vote me off? I love a self-serving jury question.
Yeah.
Nick says, there was the numbers, but really couldn't trust you. And Kyle was like, he wanted it to be the colors, which I think he means the original tribes. Mm-hmm. And then it was a fluke. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm confused. I don't know what you're saying.
It was just embarrassing to watch, to be honest.
Liam, for Nick, do you think it's important to be competitive in challenges? No. And I'm like, that could be detrimental for Liam's vote. And guess what? He doesn't get Liam's vote.
You need to elaborate on it a bit more than that. I would say something like, winning challenges is great, but if you've got immunity, you need to do something with it. Or you say, look, I didn't want to do good in challenges because I knew I wasn't going to win all of them, didn't want to be seen as a physical threat. Elaborate a bit more and pump Liam up with that. Say, Liam, you had to be voted out because you were good at challenges. We were all scared of you. So it was better for me to not be good at challenges.
Or even more so, you're spot on. Or even more so, Liam, you were fantastic at the challenges, but you're also playing the game really well. So as soon as you didn't win, you had to go. My goal was to be someone who was playing the game well, but not seen as the person playing the game the best because they get removed. I wanted to be good in the challenges, which I was, but I didn't want to be the best at the challenges.
Yeah. It's like, we don't have to get Nick right now. We can get him next time. Whereas Liam is like, shit, he's not immune. We have to get him here.
And you said it's not. He said it's not like I was a slouch. Like, you know, you wanted to vote off Andy because she gave up. I was never going to be that person, but equally, I wasn't threatening as a challenge winner. Like, there's a lot we've both gone through that he could have said there. Then what have you ticked off? Lily asks, what have you ticked off to make you the winner, Nick? And then I said, Nick lists off his resume, but articulates it quite poorly, and then just says it's a shame he couldn't vote her out at 4. She's doing words for him.
Surprised he doesn't just say, I beat you here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the better green.
Yeah.
And then I said, my guess was a 5-3 Nick win. Ends up being 6-2. Haley randomly votes for Kyle, God knows why. And the other vote comes from Liam because he can compete. And I'm like, fuck challenges is my response in my notes. What would they have done?
8-person jury with a final 2.
Yeah.
What would they have done in a tie?
4-4 tie. What are they doing?
Samuel, are you here?
If you're still here,
I want to answer.
We'll forget this later. Lily gets an extra vote. I don't fucking know. Like, Sam decides.
Sam decides, yeah. Do a challenge for the win.
Well, then you can't pick Nick in that situation because then everyone just calls rigged.
There had to be a plan for this.
Mm.
He's lucky. And there are a few combinations going into this sort of final 4, final 5, final 6. Like, if Tyler and Lily are there, if Nick's there with Lily, and there's a potential. If Liam's there with Lily, like, there's a potential for a few.
Well, Sam's here.
There are 4-4 combinations.
What happens if the jury vote is tied? You have an 8-person jury and a final 2.
Come on.
We're waiting. This will be.
We don't have Laurel here to make the deciding vote. He's just like, I can find the extra. He's like, oh, okay.
Find the extra. Oh my god.
So it's in the game notes. There was a plan. Of course, there was a plan. It's Sam. There was always going to be a plan in place.
There's not always a plan.
With Sam, there's always a plan.
I've been at one of these things, and we realized we didn't actually have a Final 4 challenge, so we had to make something up on the fly. Like, oh, dude, this goes 2-2. Do we have a challenge? It's like, no. We'll make something up.
Yeah.
Bringing back the final 9 immunity challenge. Do that again.
Yeah. It was pretty good, actually, what we came up with. Anyway. And, okay, well, while we wait for Sam, that ends our recap. It's only been 2 hours. I think it's pretty good for a 3-person coverage. Great little season. I think all in all, as we said, production, hosting, editing, its own little flavor with the style, the imagery, the music, the little vote out thing, the jury villa. Oh, Sam's gone now. It's gone to 0. Maybe it means he's like looking at the document. All of that, fantastic. I think that if this was a full 16-person season with an original cast that don't know each other, that are through casting, this would likely easily be in the top 5. I don't know what I'm pushing out, but it's just such.
I think it's potentially also just a factor of people haven't seen it as much as they've seen some of the other ones. Like you yourself said, you hadn't finished Brisbane. I hadn't watched it. So I think if it had been viewed a bit more, maybe it would be a bit higher. Possibly,
but there is a extreme level of recency bias in this voting. Like, I don't know if that's. I think actually the order is pretty fair in my view, but like there's a lot of recency bias in voting.
I think the seasons you're talking about are probably the top seasons anyway, even if they are the more recent ones.
And the recency bias also comes from the fact that the seasons are just generally better because every production gets better every new one they do because people get more skilled at it. So it makes sense that
they get bigger teams involved.
Yeah. But the Brisbane 2, which I believe has been filmed quite recently.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
If the
vote was deadlocked, Final Tribal Council would still be live. The jury has to make the decision. This is a crucial part to their role in the game, and their role isn't over until the winner is decided. There will be 2 parts what happen next. 1, we give each of the final 2 an opportunity for one final pitch to both solidify their votes and sway the others. 2, the jury then talk amongst themselves and can ask any clarifying questions of the final 2. This would be more of it just, and then we stopped.
Okay, but
Sounds
what
like
if they
they'd have
don't
more of
agree?
a jury roundtable and.
I'm
but
going to
make
lawyer
the
you
jury make
here. What if they don't agree? What if you have a 4-4 deadlock? They don't have to agree. What are you going to do?
hung jury.
No
Yeah.
winner.
No winner.
No.
Sam is the winner.
Sam was the
Sam
winner.
is
Like,
two-time winner.
Sam is the winner of this. Absolutely.
Sam is the winner. He put together a magnificent. I don't know how much help he had. We'll find out when I do my talk with him in a few weeks. What an incredible first effort. What an incredible first production. Such high quality, such well thought out, other than this probably, gameplay, like challenges, twists, the process to manage a 10, to manage people that knew each other on the whole. But it was just an overall fantastic first effort. So excited that Brisbane came along and we make that part of the community, and so excited to see what will happen with Brisbane in the future. I'm sure it's going to be very, very exciting. Thank you, Danny and Jules. Any final thoughts on the season?
No, I think we've pretty much summed it up. I have recency bias for Sam also, but I think I think putting this together with not being known in the community, not the help that comes with the community that, he's obviously got for season 2. He had a big wealth of people who went up to help him. I think it's an incredible first outing. Like, bravo.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the production value, all of that stuff that you would normally expect to come from a second, third, fourth LRG season it's incredible to see from a first season. I think we all really enjoyed the production, the challenges, every element of it. So, yeah, except they gave him too much food. Cut that.
Yeah.
And Sam as a host, I mean, I think we've said this before,
Sam's a great
but I think he's the best. He's the best host.
Of all the LRGs,
I think he's the best host.
Yeah.
I agree. Though feedback was a bit more passion in the challenges, please.
Yes.
See how we go. Bit more fire in the belly in the challenges.
More passion, not energy.
But that might just come from watching it back and seeing yourself on screen and be like, okay.
If you went to old Survivor and watched Jeff,
I was going to say Jeff Ropes even took a couple seasons to get these.
And Lapalia's early Australian Survivors aren't great in the challenges either. It takes a while to get that done.
It was a while who's making the innuendos, and that's what we're all here for.
We're here to find his own style as well. Like, that's the thing. You can't just copy Jeff and Sam. Everyone who makes the LRGs definitely has their own style. No one's trying to copy Jeff, but I think Sam's got a great style, and I'm really interested to see him with the questioning once he's got a tribal council that's perhaps a bit more dynamic and people more interested in perhaps saying a few things.
Players, for sure.
Yeah. He didn't get a lot at the tribals, but
imagine him at like a 10, 12 person tribal council. Like,
he'll be able to get the fight. Well done, Sam. Well done to whoever assisted Sam on the Brisbane crew for this season and the cast. Next week, deep dive with Nick. We'll get into all the fun. What sort of Survivor fan is he? Is he by osmosis? Is he a real fan? How does he know the word polarity? Is he listening to Shannon Gus podcast? The dichotomy of Sam and Lily and Nick and everything. We'll get into all of that. His big move. How inspired was that? Did that come out of nowhere? Was that like well thought? His obsession with voting out Lily, would he have actually done it? Does he think she would have beaten him? All these questions we can get into. It'll be really exciting coverage with Nick next week. Then the tea party with Annabelle, everyone's favorite piece of coverage in our 4 weeks of coverage. It will have Annabelle, of course. It will have Tyler, and it will have Lily, and I am unable yet to confirm the third, but I'm working on it.
Oh, that's all right. I'm in for the tea party. That sounds fantastic.
And then, of course, voting is open. Vote now. Get those votes in, and we will reveal those awards. Will we get a female ORCA? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
We haven't got a female ORCA yet. They're all men.
Well, I think it's time we inducted a woman into that club.
Well, you have votes. Use them as you will.
This is one that I was actually talking to Danny a little bit when I was finishing. I'm like, there is no clear ORCA in this season. I think there's a couple of contenders, but there's no like Calvin, who's just like, all right.
I actually think it's a battle between two, and one of them is a woman. Pretend sort of orca. I think it's more of I've got more like backyard one orca vibes than a Calvin orca vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so that's good. And we'll have those awards. And then, as I said, at the start of this, we'll be doing Yards Apart, which is one of the fantastic backyard survivor puns. I love Yards Apart, and now I love the new season's One Well. I love their, 20s era survivor pun names for like their seasons. Really excited for that, which we'll be covering in all its glory when it comes out in 1 to 2 months ish, 3 months maybe. I've got we might be able to squeeze in at one of these before that comes out, from what I'm told. So that would be great if that's possible, but I don't have definitive information as yet. And then we will cover that week by week as we always do, and then pick this coverage back up when there's not another one on. Like, I don't know if another thing's going to follow One Well or not, but I don't want to be doing these rank downs while we're also covering a season. So
too much.
We can get back to it whenever we can. And to be honest,
especially if Melbourne 4 happens to drop, we can't be doing that.
Yeah. And other than Yards Apart, I'll be doing Melbourne 4.
You're going to do Melbourne 4?
Yeah.
You were there.
Sorry? My show. I'm doing it. I actually think, just for anyone that's still watching or listening right now, my Melbourne 4 coverage will be very interesting because I won't be able to give like all my opinions about everything. So I'll really actually have to ask my guests, what do you think about that? How do you think that's going to play out in the game? Because I know how it plays out. So I'm just going to have to really host and guide and not just inform. Like, what did you think about that twist that I might have come up with? Speak truly about it.
I think you need to get Leah on as your orca for that podcast.
How cool was that guy that rode in on the jet ski? Like, these are questions we can ask and get their opinion about. Like, I have to give my opinion on all of this. On that note, we will finish up. Thank you for joining Danny and Jules. Thank you for everyone that was here watching live, and thank you for those that listen to it after, whenever you do. We appreciate your support, as always, in the Orca Pod and the countdown that we're doing here. And thank you to everyone, who makes these things and makes this community. Well done to everybody. We're all great. Let's all pat out. Let's all dislocate our shoulders, patting our back, Jules.
Yeah.
Bye all.